And we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back in for another meeting of our little crew over here. We were off last week while I was getting some stuff done. And by stuff, I mean getting trashed for my birthday. And by getting trashed, I mean drinking this much rum and being hungover for a day and a half.
This is barf day.
30s are fun. We're enjoying it. We are. So, we were lucky enough to have Ryan and Peter here with us on Saturday for another in-person, everybody in the same room, D&D one-shot. For anyone who missed that, it will be uploaded to YouTube in just a couple of days. We just gotta wait until Saturday. We upload it a week after, kind of thing. It went really good. Some things happened. A couple people might have died. One second. What's up?
I gotta run out real quick.
Yeah, do you
I'll be
think?
right
Do you
back.
think? Yeah, go.
Yeah.
You're all good. You're all set. It also might help if I posted the going lives and shit. Oh, I did. Oh my god, I'm pro streamer. I actually remember to post the lives. Okay, we're good. Look at me fucking go. So, it was a really fun game. Some stuff went really good, and the party was ultimately successful in their goals. So some stuff might be going down in the very near future. So off the top, Stanislav, you get advantage from Kieran. Kieran also adds a inspirational quote for Gregory. A real man is extremely dangerous when hurt. He could destroy everything around him, but he doesn't. So he puts on the biggest smile and destroys himself. That's dark. That makes me sad.
It was really nice, and then it
I
was
don't
scary,
feel-
and then
yeah, I don't-
nice, and then oh.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just feel sad now. I just feel sad. You get D6.
That was a
Gregory.
ride.
That was an adventure. That went
Should
like
we
out.
replace
then it went
man
down.
with villain,
was-
perhaps, possibly?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that sounds. That sounds all right. I like it. I appreciate you, Kieran. Thank you for contributing and spending your channel
The
points
bottling up of
on
the
our
emotions eventually
shenaniganry.
causes to a downward spiral, which results in my bursting out and destroying a city of 2 million people.
There you go. In other news, Peter is continuously printing things for his new business. If you want to go ahead and show some of that off or give your spiel here, now's your chance. You guys can check out the link in chat right there.
That's right. Perfect segue. Fire Mission Battery Printing. Should come check us out on Instagram or firemissionbatteryprinting.com. Dice Towers currently all primed up for the DM.
I'm so excited.
As
I
well
cannot wait
as-
to have that pyramid.
Still pumping through these zombie mug
Okay.
holders.
I really
Come
like
check out the
zombie
website or check us out on Instagram and let us know
Hell
what you
yeah.
think.
Hell yeah, people.
I literally
follow the link in
scroll through
chat.
your Insta for fun, just to look at your shit because it's so good.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
And that's
He looks
that's
at your
what
shit
I
while he
enjoy.
shits. It's great. It's magical.
That's
It's a
right.
magical
Go
system we
Pete.
have here. Let's go, Pete. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to get some of the can holders. Honestly, they're legit. And they hide what
More
you're drinking.
coming soon.
So if you got friends who
Different
drudge you for
varieties.
drinking things like Smirnoff Ice, you can just pop it right in there and no one will ever be the wiser. Brilliant. Brilliant. For those of us with judgmental French. Hell's Corp is not here because he did have to step away.
The shit.
So I'll get to him in a bit. But you can go check out Hell's Corp's page. Yeah,
The shit.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yep. There we go.
That one on the left looks mighty sexy. I wonder who that's for.
My wife really enjoys the pumpkin. It's hers.
The pumpkin's awesome. We
Very
love the
cool.
pumpkin.
Yeah.
Does it have a top that comes off? You can put shit in
Most
it?
certainly. It's a candy dish.
Oh, fuck
Actually,
yeah.
I've got
Yeah,
I
you
got one
it?
right here. It's
Yeah, let's see it.
an order. But yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. We love that.
It's,
Also, you're
yeah.
telling me that's not wood?
It
that
is
is
wood.
wood.
They do wood as well.
Wait, you can 3D print wood?
It's
I think it's a
CNC router.
Yeah.
So it is kind of 3D printing wood, yes. But the mediums would not use the medium
on wood.
Yeah, it's like
right? And my mediums fill them in resin. So
That's
we've
so
got both
cool.
Mhm.
both avenues.
Just want to. Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair, Hells. You get that dealt with, buddy. There's a little shout out
Looks
for
like
you.
Before, after.
I hope the wife's okay, my dude. If you need to step out and like dip out for the night, let me know. Otherwise,
Family first.
Family first, always. So a light bit of recapping, I guess, or we can just shoot the shit for a little while. And that, anyone else have anything going on they want to talk about? Ryan, do you have any plans to get anything started? I know you've been producing videos from our content. You got anything special coming up? Oh, you're muted.
Muted.
Wow.
I'm really good
Extreme
at
close
this.
up and mute. There you go.
Very, very good at this.
Pro streamers here.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the 8-bit
Who's to
animations are pretty tight. We love those.
Oh, thank you.
If you haven't already, you can go check out Rye's Twitch and drop a follow over there in case we ever get him to stream. Damn it, I typed out the wrong name. Fuck. It's Ryan G-Wiz. I suck, dude.
It was Rye G-Wiz for a minute. I realized it's like, why did I do that?
You changed
Does
it?
not compute. Does
I
not
did,
compute.
because I
There you
gotta keep that
Over.
Brandon, baby.
Over.
You gotta lock that brand in. I get you.
Gotta get that in before
Fair
someone else steals that amazing
You
name.
blocked me on Facebook.
It's
and
a
now
good
you're
one.
Going to die.
It's a solid. And another pro streamer. We're just adding them. We're just building up the pro streamers here. Well, if that is what's up?
I'm not learning how to pro stream, but I am learning how to bass. I'm learning how to play the bass.
Oh, did you get a bass?
My dad is
Really?
sourcing one out for me right now. Yeah.
Nice. Nice
Oh,
use bass you
cool.
can get for pretty cheap too. Send pics when you get one. Pics in the
Yeah.
Discord.
He's probably gonna pick up a Squire jazz bass.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with Squire Jazz Bass. Nice and simple, straightforward and to the point.
Yep.
Can't
I'm
go
pretty
wrong.
sure I can use my mix amp to operate it.
Probably, yeah. Most likely, we'll figure that out.
Connor.
Sure. We love a bass enthusiast. Yes, bassists in the chat. No, definitely. Also, like, if you can, like, track down a good Yamaha, they're pretty solid too. I quite like them. Oh, Cat. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
He's back.
Did you guys see what I put?
Yeah, no, we hope everything's okay.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Couldn't even get in touch
Yeesh. Well, if you need to dip out, man, feel free anytime. Like, family's first and shit. I completely understand. You do what you need to do. Oh, he disappeared. Oh my god.
Hell,
He's sidewiping
I
his
gotta
way
say,
through everything.
I appreciate that even though you're like half going through a crisis, you take the time to put a disconnect behind you when you leave. It's too good.
How many overlays does this man have set up?
No.
Holy
Go back to
shit.
riffraff. Go back
Yeah,
to riffraff.
we do like riffraff. That's a
I don't
classic.
care if it's an anniversary one.
Oh my god, what is
Alright,
happening right now? There you go. That's so disturbing.
The stream countdown.
We get a timer.
There you go.
Are you dipping out for a bit?
Yeah, I gotta dip out for a bit. I'm sorry, boys.
You're all good, man. Oh god, I could just
love
throw
you.
your AI art up in the meantime. Although riffraff is a thing too, I really fucking hate that. I just truly do not like it.
I don't care what anyone says. Riffraff is amazing.
I'm just gonna enable the Mr. Maker AI art for a little bit, but now we all get to enjoy the terror of riffraff just laughing at us in the corner.
And
That's
he's-
wonderful. What's up,
he's
this guy
eating.
looking in? Oh my god, I don't even want to look at that anymore. It's making me very unhappy. Let's just put a hand up over that for a little bit. So. Oh my god, it's terrible. I do believe that is everything we need to get through. So, on that note, it is time to recap where we left off a couple weeks back before we take our little break there. So, the party, having freshly left the town of Ravencrest and traversing safely through the misty forests of the Daggerwoods, you eventually found your way to a crossroads where the fog's kind of lessened. You began to get a view of the daytime sky and everything. And your attention was drawn almost immediately to a plume of smoke rising up into the sky, several almost kind of conjoining above to just leave a streak across the blue sky. You quickly realized it was likely coming from the town of Goldbrush, a small farming village, kind of in the central area of the kingdom of Eldris here. And you very quickly, very hastily made your way forwards through the remaining Daggerwoods forest until you came to the city's edge along the road, where you found a series of buildings all still freshly smoldering from having burned down the previous day, most of the larger buildings in town having been mostly destroyed. Before you made your way into the city, Mr. Maker, using some convenient use of the invisibility spell, snuck away from the party and into what appeared to be the remnants of the general store, where after snooping around for a little bit, he tracked down what appeared to be the life savings of the owner of this establishment, tucked away behind the counter under the floorboards, at which point he robbed the individual blind, pocketing all the coin he found and leaving the premises as he did so. The party.
Fuck that guy. I'm so fucking poor. I'm so fucking poor. money bags, just fucking leaves, pillages, tells no one about his fucking money, and I'm so fucking poor.
Not a dime to spare.
Fucking
The party
praise Mogus.
continued along on their wagon towards the city, where they found a large gathering of people all gathered around what appeared to be a large stone garrison building with all the doors sealed up and barricaded by things just being piled in front of them. This seemingly angry mob wielding torches and screaming at an armored individual who was trying to keep the crowd at a level head, but seemingly struggling to do so as the crowd yells at him to burn down the building and everything inside of it, while he struggles to maintain control. The party quickly made their way into the situation, and realizing their normal antics were not so appreciated here, as the commander in question decided to be a little gruff with the party and offered them an alternative that if they can fix the problem, the building wouldn't be burned down. In not quite so many words. The party, wasting no time, made their way around the back of the building and found a small kind of a barred open grate in the side of the building, leading down into the storage rooms below, where Gregory, using a was it Misty Step, I believe, made your way into the bars and below, where you found a massive group of people all hiding in the basement below. As you look up and realize there is just swarms and swarms of undead on the main floor, roaming cautiously around. The party not being as quiet as they could have in their attempts to free the people from this place, prying some of the bars out of the window, hammering the ground and trying to create a tunnel with the help of some tunneling badgers that had been summoned by baby Gregory, or adolescent Gregory, I'm sorry. You did, however, manage to save the bulk of the people, however not without catching the attention of the individuals upstairs, including a particularly nasty zombie minotaur who smashed his way through the floor, opening it up for the hordes to make their way down to Gregory.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
So Gregory, trying to get the people to safety as these bodies were raining down around you, Stanislav, Mr. Maker, and Mantuka all doing their part to contribute to the fight fairly skillfully, made their way through the combat with minimal scrapes and bruises, and ending up on top, having vanquished all of the undead opponents within. We ended the session as you guys emerge out into the back courtyard of this garrison. The cluster of people you just rescued, all standing against the back wall, kind of scared, huddled against each other, just observing the building that you just freed them from. What are you all doing as you make your way out of the tunnel that you dug into the building, and the people upstairs obviously coming out the door, which is now unbarricaded? What are you doing? You all
Praise
stand.
Mogus! Don't fucking stand there. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, we should probably try and just push them, or not push them, guide them.
Yeah, I'm
They
helping.
just told me to get the thing open so people can get out. Fuck 'em. They don't want to stand there. Fuck 'em.
Yeah, they're just at the urging from the party, they quickly make their way out the holes in the wall. You do remember there were quite a couple holes that had been broken through in the protective wall around the garrison here. They kind of make their way out and rejoin the group. Do you guys follow? What are you all doing? As it stands now, you still hear commotion coming from the other side, because all the other group heard was a number of screams, bangs, crashes, and smashes. And I do believe, if memory serves, Stanislav and Mr. Maker, was it? Who was it that kicked their way out of the front door at the end of the session? I think it was... I can't remember.
It wasn't me.
I know it was Mr. Maker and
I think it was you.
myself.
I think it was you and Mr. Maker. That was how the door got open. I'm sorry. It's a long recap.
Yep.
It's been a long 2 weeks.
That's how we ended. That's right.
We ended with Mantuka and Mr. Maker just barging their way out the front door onto a wall of shield and spears, all held at the ready for you guys. So we'll say as Gregory makes his way out the back with Stanislav, you guys get the cluster that was tucked away in the back there. And then you hear the sound of the door in the front just exploding open as Mantuka and Mr. Maker make their way out of it. Mantuka, since Mr. Maker is AFK at the moment, what is it you are doing now? You just bash through the door, sending the barricade flying in every direction, and you are met, like I said, by a wall of shield and spears. What are you doing?
This is when you cheer, motherfuckers! And then I'm just gonna keep walking.
For a minute, you can see them like they just see the form of this minotaur coming through the debris and dirt that was kicked up as it was all smashed open. So they just see the form of this hulking minotaur in the kind of dust and debris. Almost mistaking you for being the undead one that they knew was inside until you step out, revealing your full living self, and just walk past them casually as they're all just stand there stunned for a moment.
Praise Mogus! Behold, your people.
You
As
see them
we're
kind
hurting
of
them around
like
the corner, yeah.
anxiously looking in the door. And then you see Stanislav and Gregory come around with another group of people. The commander kind of looks at all of you.
Hi.
You're an asshole.
Well, we
I
took care of everything.
He just kind of like looks around the side of the building expecting like a horde of zombies to come following you all, but like...
Gregory is too.
How'd you do it?
A little bit of a good old-fashioned kick-assery, I guess.
Yeah,
And
exactly. It was kick-assery.
They're dead for good?
They're dead. Yes.
That's
Most
what we
of them
thought.
are headless.
That's what we thought last time. He puts his finger up and he just goes over to his men. You hear him kind of just like talk. He's not trying to hide what he's saying. He's just talking in a low voice. Maybe not trying to start a panic. And you briefly catch him just whisper, "Take all the bodies you can find, bring them out back and burn them, please." And you see some of his men nod and anxiously make their way into the building, all spears and shields at the ready. And they're going to spend the next little bit just hauling bodies out into the back courtyard behind the garrison. And doing so, and the commander comes, he takes his helmet off that he was wearing and just tucks it under his arm. Thank you. I don't think we couldn't have done that without you. I was just gonna burn it down.
Well, that probably would have worked for getting rid of the zombie problem. You definitely wouldn't have gotten the people in the basement out that way, so
We didn't know.
happy we could help.
We didn't know if there's any other choice.
Well,
they, yeah, it happened pretty fast. We're lucky we managed to get everyone.
Hey,
Safe.
don't worry about what could have happened. What happened was pretty okay.
Yeah, he looks to the building just across the road, which you see is like, just a slightly smaller, than the general store was, but it is a multi-story, or was a multi-story building. You see the roof has collapsed in, and the walls too a little bit, only a little bit, even revealing there was a second story there. The inn's burnt down, but maybe we can find you guys a drink and a place to stay for the night if you'd like.
Oh.
Honest,
it's like on the verge of sundown right now, right?
Ish, yeah, it's probably late afternoon by now.
Yeah.
It's evening. If you want, we can, I'm not sure how much stores we have left, but we can maybe get some food together. We're gonna need to figure something out. If you're willing to lend a helping hand, there's probably some coin in it for you. Yeah.
Going up for a shit. Let's fucking do this. Fuck's sakes.
I'd be more than happy to help.
Yeah, you know.
Forest
already
hero
here.
in NATO.
I'm gonna be honest. Our doctor was inside. Are any of you particularly good with any kind of medicine or anything? We still have a number of wounded to deal with, and we just don't have the tools.
Gregory
I'm
kind of
super
steps forward.
good.
Hello.
Cleave off all limbs.
We do all have some experience. Gregory's quite good with the medical side itself, and I'm quite practiced in healing magic. So
I'm good with
definitely help
amputations.
with that.
Causing them.
He
actually
looks
very
at
good
you
at
and just like, I don't doubt it for a second.
I'll heat the blade up first.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little out on my depth here, so just find somewhere and set up camp if you want. We'll try to get some food together and see what we can do. If you two don't mind, just go around and help whoever you can. There's may even be some people still stuck. We haven't even had a chance to look for everyone yet. We've been busy dealing with this. Also, Ray asked, why did the zombie eat the archer? He wanted his bone and marrow. Okay, everyone loses a d6 to their next roll because of that. Sorry, I apologize.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say everyone loses a d6 hit points.
Why
You
would
take a
say that?
d6 sidekick
Like
damage.
damage, yeah.
Times 5.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate it.
Oh my god, that's so good and bad.
So, he kind of goes about, and you see him kind of check, like, go around, check on the progress. You see the soldiers hauling bodies out of the building. He pulls a couple of them away, issues a couple orders. You see them go off and begin rummaging, like they go into the garrison and start hauling out whatever supplies they can get their hands on. So Gregory and Stanislav, you guys are going to help with medicine. Mantuka, what are you doing to assist? You're not really being given any direction per se. It's just if you can lend a helping hand, what would you maybe like to do to assist?
I'm gonna grab steel and kind of flag down some locals, and try to make like a little hunting party looking for people. See if I
Okay.
can miss any people amongst the ruins or rubble or whatever.
I love that.
Great idea.
Okay, easily done. So I will say either perception or investigation, your choice, and I'll give you advantage because you have the help of an entire crew with you as
So
you're doing
sweet.
this. You kind of pull away
okay.
some of the more able-bodied looking people who might be able to pull
Any
debris.
spell.
True. You find a rather large-looking man,
thank
and
God
then
you got advantage.
a fairly built woman as well, who is willing to kind of take the lead and help with that, and then a few other individuals who join the charge. Anything to use with that, Stanny? Or are you good? Nothing.
Nah, nothing.
We need
I
that
can really
guidance, dude.
cast for
Okay,
that.
so 11. It takes you a
Guidance
little
only
while.
lasts a minute, and
Yeah.
this will probably take a longer time.
Probably, but you spend some time looking, and it takes you a little while, not as quick as you were kind of hoping for in finding the people. But as you kind of make your way down to the southern port of town here, you see this large building that I'm pinging down there that's all smoky. It looks
Yep.
like it was a large storehouse, maybe for grain or something that some people had holed up in. And you can see that it too has been burnt down, and it looks like the villagers were using very similar methods for a lot of things here when it came to dealing with zombies locked into buildings. But you make your way over, and eventually you do hear just some very muffled voices coming from under the floorboards here that look like they hadn't collapsed. And you kind of start rummaging around. You hear someone below. Hello? Is anyone up there? Please?
It's okay. Remain calm. We're really good at rescuing people.
I would be very, very mindful where you step.
I'm always mindful about where I step. Praise Mogus.
If you're sure, you're about a foot away from a rather crispy looking patch. Be very careful.
17% sure.
Okay.
And then I want to
Yeah.
send steel forward.
Okay, so he's light-footed. This is good. He begins making his
Congratulations,
way,
you are being rescued.
making his way over the floor, and you see essentially what happened in this building is as it burnt, the entire back half collapsed inward, and it sounds like the individual is coming from somewhere under that debris. Smelly kind of makes his way in and begins trying to rummage around.
It's
What exactly?
steel!
Sorry, Steel. I'm not used to the new name change yet. What does Steel do when he goes in there? What is he looking for exactly? What are his
I just been trying
actions
to
within the burning
see
building?
if he can see underneath or a way to get below, or if there's like debris that's opened up to below or whatever
Roll me
you got for
an
me.
investigation check for Steel, please. Did you hear about the guy whose
Alright.
left side was cut off? He's all right now. Oh, can we get timeout for Ray? Just like 1 second timeout. God damn, the puns again. So it begins.
Oh, there
Where
we
does a
go.
general keep
Dirty
his
20s.
armies?
Dirty 20. There's the Arcana. I'll take it.
His sleeveys.
Did I hit Arcana?
You definitely hit Arcana.
Oh, my bad.
It's a plus
was
2.
I
I'm
doing?
guessing it was investigation, which I'm thinking is the same bonus anyway.
No, it's not. Joke's on you.
Ooh.
Hold on.
If you want to just take what you rolled and add
No.
your investigation bonus.
17. Smelly does. I
Okay.
mean, fucking
Okay.
Steel does on a dime. Does it right.
So he kind of begins shifting some stuff around, and he sees what he kind of looks back to. There's a trap door back here, boss. It's and with that a check that high, he's pointing to some debris. He's like, I'm a little worried about moving that. It doesn't look very sturdy, and kind of puts his foot down on the floor, and it creaks quite dangerously under it as it does so. He kind of steps back. That's the way down, but I don't know if it's the safest.
I get what he's putting down. Remember that that fucking floorboard that was very not safe for my weight?
Mm-hmm.
Immediately gonna punch it.
Oh dear God.
Actually, fuck that. Headbutt it, head
Just,
through.
okay.
Yeah. Here's Jackie.
Okay. Roll me a melee. Yeah, roll me an unarmed attack on the floor. Oh boy.
He's just gonna go head through it.
That's not what I'm worried about.
Gonna collapse the whole goddamn building.
That's more what I'm worried about.
Oh dear.
Roll your damage that hits. It's wood and it's charred wood, so it is pretty fragile. So 8 damage. I'm gonna roll a percentile. It's low percent, so if it's above a 90, you guys are gonna have some problems. Okay. So as you walk over to the floor and just put your head through it, your horns go through first, and then the rest of your face, and you kind of just held right at the neck, your face held down into the floor, and you look into what appears to be a small kind of basement, like almost cold room, like it's quite deep in the ground, where you can see some other like vegetables and stuff being stored, and you see an entire group of people, probably about 6 or 7 individuals of varying ages, all looking up at you in terror as your head just bursts through the ground. And you see you assumed to be the man who was talking. Be very, very careful.
That's right. Danger's my middle name. I'm here to save you.
Looks up. It's
7 to 15 minutes.
Okay. Please be careful.
I'm gonna talk all day, or am I gonna save you?
How do you intend to do that?
Like I do most of my life, figure it out on the fly.
Could you maybe figure it out
around the morality of an entity called Mogus?
Could you perhaps figure it out a little more gently? I did say the floor is very sturdy. Okay. I'm sorry to be bothering you. I will be silent.
All right, Steele, you're up, buddy. What are your thoughts?
Until we're crushed alive. That will not be silent.
A possibility of dying.
And then it will be silent forever.
Yeah, so there's like a minotaur, like just basically like this much of your face and 2 horns. Like your whole head didn't even go through. The horns are in 2 separate holes, and then there's a face hole right underneath it.
That'll be turn 2.
I mean, it's just actively your turn right now.
Well, I'm gonna actively penetrate this fucking.
You're just continuing to headbutt the wood. Oh my god. Okay,
I'm coming through.
Roll me another unarmed attack. Oh, I can get rid of the Mr. Maker art now. I love this.
Oh my fuck! Does 11 hit?
Yeah, it's wood. It's a wood floor.
I'm gonna have to rage to get better rolls.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be 8.
If it's above an 80, you're gonna have some issues. Okay, rolling consistently good. There is now, like, as you continue just bashing your head into the floor, you're breaking off pieces, and every time you do, you see the back kind of shift dangerously as the floor creaks, as less and less support is holding it together. While you're doing that, Mr. Maker, if you want to take a minute to think about what you're going to be doing to help out the people, they have offered a reward for anything you're willing to do to help out around town. Mantuka is trying to rescue people, and I believe Gregory and Stanislav are going about trying to find villagers and stuff in need of healing.
Doctor and nurse.
I'd like to ask what happened after we bust through the wall, because I wasn't here for the payoff of that bit.
Oh, they almost stabbed Mantuka, who appeared in the dusty doorway with you behind him, and then he just emerged out and said, "Praise Mogus, that's how you do it," and just walked away. Like, just completely scared the shit out of them and then nonchalantly continued passing.
Mike dropped them,
yeah,
basically.
That's about exactly what,
That's pretty much
what
how
I
it was.
wanted to do.
Yeah, that or stabbed him, but they hesitated.
Yeah.
So-
So to help people, where is everybody else? Like, where did everybody else head off to?
Mantuka and Steele and like 4 or 5 other villagers made their way to the southeast of the town. Gregory and Stanny we haven't got to quite yet. So they're still around the garrison and stuff if you wanted to participate with them.
would it be possible for me to roll like an insight check to see if they would have anything of value in a shrine of Gantua?
Say Guntua?
I don't know what that there's smoke on top of it. I can't read it.
Shantae.
Shantae.
Goddess of agriculture. Good try. Yeah.
Gonna
so
steal
are
from
you
the goddess of agriculture?
Yes.
Okay. So are you just heading over there? Or are you actively like trying to ask people about this? Because the riches in
ask people.
Okay. So you go around. What are you asking them exactly? Like, how's that dialogue go? I'm curious.
So, like, I walk up to a couple of the villagers after having bust through this wall with Mantuka. And I'm like, hey, so, you know that shrine? I saw it when we were on the road over there. What's its deal? What's going on with that?
Oh, that was the shrine to our goddess Shantae. She's the patron goddess of our town. We have a festival every year in her honor and hope for a good harvest and pray for a bountiful season.
Feels like for a farmer's village, you know. I imagine that the shrine would be one of those things that's kind of like where the whole community comes together and really puts forth their meager profits to make a nice building where you can worship.
People do tend to make fairly large donations. Yes, people do tend to drop off things at the temple that they feel would be a worthy gift to the goddess.
For sure. Well, do you know if anybody was in there when the zombos attacked?
Well, I know one of the temple caretakers was killed in the attack, and we haven't heard anything from the temple matron yet. So, as far as we know,
Mr.
missing
Baker
in
takes
action.
off.
Good luck. If you find her, just please make sure she's okay. She's a very important woman in this village.
He's already halfway down the road.
Making your way. Okay, cool. So while you're beelining over there, we'll just quickly get to Stanislav and Gregory. What are the two of you actively doing? How are you going about your duties? As you can probably tell, a lot of their wounded were in the garrison and probably turned into the zombies that you found within. But other than that, you don't have a lot of information.
Well, yeah, we kind of figured it's not gonna be a lot of stopping zombies, I hope. Because I don't know how to do that.
That was the last of them. As far as we know, there's none others in the town.
Okay, so it's just people who got hurt in like the scuffle and in the fighting.
When the fight happened, when the fight happened, we put the wounded inside. They were being cared for, and well, you saw what happened to them.
Right.
It's something.
Stan, I think we can try and make at least people feel better. Let's try.
Well, at very least, we can walk around and see if there's anybody that needs help or healing that wasn't here.
Right. Okay, let's try our best. I don't know why I'm more nervous about this than I was about fighting the zombies.
No.
That's because fighting zombies is easy.
For you,
yeah.
perhaps.
I am greatly gifted, and I'm thankful for it.
Well, maybe if you had been here a day sooner.
Oh.
Stanislav does hang his head a bit in remorse for that.
Greg too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean nothing by it. You need to understand we lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
I understand.
Right.
And if it's any small consolation, we did end up taking care of that horde of zombies. So there won't be a problem again in the future.
The ones that made their way through the town. Where were they going?
Our tracking is right than where we were.
They walked.
Can I roll an insight check on this dude?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. Just want to see if I can gauge his intentions.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Wow. It's a 2. That is a 2, Gregor. If you'd like to roll as well, feel free. But for the most part, he seems young to be in a position of command. I'll also say roll me a history check with advantage, because you've been around the kingdom for a while and you've worked with their military in the past. Gregory, okay. So 15 insight for Gregory and a 16 history. You see Stanislav, based on his armor and the depictions on it, like the armbands he wears, this is not a guard commander. This is not the military leader of the city. This would be the next person down. So basically, the right-hand man to the person in charge. He's not used to leading himself. He's used to supporting the leader. So he's struggling to take control, and you can tell by the look of the armor and even the make of it, it's fairly new. Like it looks like a more modern piece that's been made fairly recently for this individual. So, and then Gregory, yeah, basically, like this was more or less a squire, who was in a position. Okay. He's just the next person in charge, more or less. Gregory, segueing to you, you pick up very much on that with your insight check. There is an uncertainty, kind of a fear of failure that's like just coming out with everything he says. He's not trying to come off rude or short or dickish with you. He is just in above his capacity to handle it, and he's doing his best to deal with a lot of complex emotions. Are you gathering he probably lost a few people, and he's not sure how he's going to lead this town, or at least step up and handle it until someone comes along who can. Seems like an earnest kid trying to do a good job who doesn't know how to.
Yeah. We've got our heads kind of down a little bit, I just sort of tug on Stan's hand. I'm just like, we'll try our best, just like you are.
Thank you. If you can find anyone and help out in any way, please let me know if you need any assistance from my men. We're going to get a small mess tent set up and see if we can get some food made for people. If you guys want to come grab a bite to eat after you're finished, there'll be a hot meal waiting for you.
Speaking of that, how are your food stocks? After what happened?
Most of them were in the basement of the garrison, so how much damage was there down there?
The building itself was actually rather intact, so your food stores might be untarnished.
Well, that's the first blessing we've had in a long day. The reserves were over there in the any gestures to this large burning building where you saw Mantuka head to. The rest of our stores were in there. Unfortunately, the building didn't make it. So it's just what we have in the garrison. It was enough in the in the event of an attack or a siege. It was enough that we'd be able to hold down the fort for at least a few days. So should be enough to go with for now.
Well, that's good. We'll wander around and see if we can find people who need help.
Please, let me know how it goes.
Of course.
Okay. So we're going to cut back to Mantuka as you two start spreading out. Real quick for Gregory and Stanny, if you guys want to either roll me perception or investigation to either like look for people or start rummaging through debris trying to find folks, it's your choice which one you would prefer to do.
I'm basically also, just like looking around for people who need help
survival.
That aren't.
Survival would also be a decent one to use for this as well.
Hey, thank you.
No, it makes sense.
I'm looking for people who aren't as buried, but more so need like medical help, or have been bitten by a zombie, which is very bad.
Okay. So
actually, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna look specifically for people who've been bitten.
Okay.
I'm gonna look for people who are married and kind of like getting lost, children, stuff like that.
Fuck.
Ooh, dirty 20.
I have a D6 of inspiration, right?
I was gonna say, for looking for bites, it's not even. It's basically a perception or an investigation or a charisma check to get people to show you their wounds. Medicine is actual.
9.
Yeah. Okay. 9 is like. It's not great. It's still a natural 1. So it takes you quite a bit. And for the first few people, you're like, you're fine. You're fine. You're good. Don't worry about it. It'll be all right. And then after a while, you start to settle in. And as Gregory kind of begins leading his way, actually, Gregory, you find a trail of what looks like blood, fairly fresh, leading just towards the edge of the forest. Just like towards the edge. And you kind of, if you follow that, it's up to you.
Just Stan, I'll try to stay within shouting distance. Running.
All right, let me know if you find anything.
Stan, roll a perception check as you continue looking for wounds and stuff. So as you guys are doing that,
me or him?
You, Stanny. Still not great, but better. Oh, it's a 10. We love that. All right, we'll get back to that. But you do start to find a few people with wounds that we'll look into more when we come back to you. Going back to Mantuka, what are you doing? You just continuing to work on the floor. At this point, you put your head through it like twice. You got a fairly sizable hole. You're starting to maybe worry about the integrity of the floor.
Can Steel make it back to me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he kind of found a safe walking path back to the door.
I would like to find a beam or a wooden structure that I find, or something I deem as solid, to attach my rope to, and throw it down the hole. If I need to make the hole a little bigger, I will.
Okay.
That way, if they suck at rolling, they die on their own, and I get nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So luckily for you, there is a couple hitching posts nearby where people could hitch their animals and stuff. There's a stable just across the road.
Hitch
from
it
you.
up, DM.
So you might have to connect a couple things of rope to make a sufficiently long one, but 50 to 100 feet of rope would probably do the job.
I only got 100.
100 is more than enough.
All right, DM.
You tie it off. I'll say roll a survival check just to see how good your knot tying skills are, of course.
Survival. I feel like I've got advantage. All right, let's go.
Yeah, I was like, you're good at survival. That's like kind of your thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be, but I roll like hot garbage. 16.
Don't we all? 16. Okay.
Naughty.
We love it. Oh my god. It wasn't bad enough when Ray was doing it. Now you gotta fucking contribute too. God damn. You go over. You get a fairly secure knot, as far as you can tell. You would be comfortable putting your weight on this. So you gather the people in the basement, probably more or less okay, and you kind of walk it back towards the room. What are you doing? Just dropping it down the hole?
Yep.
Okay. So you toss it down.
And I like throw it down, like I'm yeeting it down.
Roll me just for fun. Just
like
roll
not
me
to
a
cause
D20.
like
No.
structural damage.
No damage. Just roll
wanna...
roll me a D20 just for my sake.
I'm spiking.
Hit one of the people in the face. Hit one of the people in the face.
Exactly why. That's why we're rolling.
Just a naked D20.
What's up, Liz? Welcome in. How you doing? Yeah, naked D20. Just send it.
All right. For you, the world.
One time when I was in the Navy, we were docking and I hit somebody in the face with a monkey fist. It was amazing.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
I want to hear more stories about you in the Navy docking. Anyway.
No. Oh no. I hate it. Okay, so with an 18, you just grab this bundle of rope and huck it into the basement. And as you do, you hear the voice that's been like speaking up to you, just like as this loud like thwapping sound as this bundle of rope hits this man in the face. He's like, "Ah! You could have given me some warning first. Christ almighty."
Let's talk more climb.
As he uses a curse from a totally different religion in a totally different world, but you know, no biggie. Christ almighty.
This rope is from Mogus.
He grabs it and he's like, you first. You don't see who he's referring to, but you feel a weight at the end of the rope. Try to start pulling it, and then it gets a little lighter as it feels like someone's just kind of like helping, maybe someone like lift up onto the rope a little bit.
When they get in like grasping gear, I'm like wedging them and like ripping them off and like flinging them.
Yeah, so you kind of have to pull the rope up a little bit to make the distance from the, like, it's kind of a deeper room. It's about 15 feet down, so you kind of have to...
Fuck that, they get fucking...
Give it a
I'm
couple
not
pulls.
Pull the rope up
Well,
once they get to me.
As you look down the hole, you see what appears to be probably a child, maybe about 8 or 10 years old, just struggling to climb hand over hand up
Shit
this road.
happens.
One of the people underneath is literally holding him by his feet, but he's only about 8 feet off the ground. He cannot make the rest of the distance. It's a 15-foot climb. He's literally 6 or 7 feet away.
I swing my halberd down dangerously for him.
You just dangle the axe blade of your halberd. He kind of grabs one and you just pull him up safely. It takes him a little bit. I will say, as you start getting the heavier individuals up, it starts putting more weight on the floors. The rope's kind of pulling into it. Roll me a percentile. So if it's above a 70, some stuff's gonna happen. It's gone like it's become increasingly difficult to manage every time.
Oh shit, 99?
Oh, so as you're pulling and like you get the children up. There's about out of the like 6 people down there, 3 of them were kids, so they come up fairly easily. You get up one of the adults, and then the next to last person before the man who's been speaking to you, who seems to be going last, is a bit of a larger individual, a little more weight. You manage to pull him up easily enough, but as you do, the floor starts to creak and bend and give as the wood that's been charred and burnt starts to crack and bend, and you see the floor start to collapse. I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw as the floor starts to collapse underneath you.
Can I see? I assume I can see this happening.
Yes, danger sense would take effect.
Sweet.
And the two individuals down there also gonna roll.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. 18.
Oh, damn. Okay. So the floor collapses out from under you entirely. You fall straight down through and fall about 15 feet and land on your feet. No damage because you do manage to absorb the landing with your fairly muscular form and a fairly decent save there.
Like Gluteus Maximus.
However,
Shock absorber.
Well, the larger individual who you're pulling up seems to be unscathed. He fell, and like some of the debris that collapsed fell around him, and he does appear to be all right. However, the individual you've been talking to this time just kind of like jumps backwards as you see a bunch of debris just fall in front of you and him. And as like the debris settles and the dust kind of kicks up into the air, and some like sparks kind of come up from some of the smoldering wood, you hear a voice behind it just let out a scream in pain. Just, ah! What are you doing?
Is it like a scream of pain or a scream I'm dying?
You don't know.
Roll
me an insight check. Roll me an insight check. This is literally what that is for. Yeah, go ahead.
Do we hear this? Collapsing of another
no.
building?
Roll me a perception check. You're pretty far away. Ryan or Gregory, at this point, you're making your way towards the woods, so you probably wouldn't even catch it at this point.
I'm very focused on what's going on in front of me.
Oh, okay, nice. Look at that. Stanny, you hear the sound of breaking wood and collapsing building, and you look as a plume of smoke, sparks just twirl up into the sky, and the building Mantuka was just heading towards and seemingly working in. Mantuka, 4. You can't tell if this is an individual who is dying or an individual who is severely wounded, but it is someone who is in agonizing pain.
Okay.
But still living enough to scream. And they don't stop. Like, there are literal, like, you hear the sounds of this occurring for the next little bit.
I'm gonna go find this person. Or attempt to.
Okay.
Because they're like a siren right now. It's like, ah!
Yeah, literally screaming. So you know which direction they are. At this point, it's sifting through burning rubble. So I'm going to say it's going to be an athletics check to just move the stuff out of the way, and I need you to make me a constitution saving throw as you are actively moving burning pieces and charred pieces of wood that are still charcoaling and like smoldering and everything.
19 and a con saving throw?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with 19, you're just literally throwing debris to the sides. Basically, the whole floor is collapsed, so you're no worry in that anymore, and you're just throwing pieces to the side, hauling bigger. 25. Okay, you're going to only take fire damage. Over the course of the entire time, you take 3d6 until... Damn! Okay. You take 6 points of fire damage. As you're actively just moving these burning pieces of wood. You see your hands starting to blister a little bit. Some of the fur on there is burned, leaving that like burning hair smell in the air. But after a while, you do pull kind of the last bit of the rafters off of this individual, and you see him kind of pinned down, and there is a wooden stake through the side of his torso about that long, or about that thick. And it's just jutting out. That looks like it fell right into him.
When Trinity got impaled in the main.
Yeah, he's just like leaning back like, ugh! And you see a little trickle of blood kind of coming out of the mouth.
Being, being quite attuned to battle wounds, would I know if that is a savable wound or not?
I mean, in a world without magic, definitely a dead man that you're looking at. But in a world where healing magic exists, you have seen people come back from far, far worse than this.
I don't have any of that healing magic, though.
Yeah, he's not unconscious or anything. He is still alive. He's just actively taking burning damage while this burning piece of wood is stabbing him. Oh shit, we got a raid. Let's go. Hildebrand with the party of 1. We appreciate you, homie. That was a weird thing. Thank you for coming in, buddy. I appreciate it. Let's get a shout out for Hildebrand. How was your stream? What were you playing? Lies of P. We love that. That game looks fun as shit. I can't wait to try. So you do manage to like get everything off of them. What are you gonna do with them?
Can Lizrog own a large handkerchief?
You mean Mantuka?
I mean, yes.
You said Lizrog. I'm like, you're not Lizrog right now.
I know what I said.
Yeah, like at this point, you could rip pieces of cloth off of your loincloth. That would do the trick. Like you have some extra fabric kicking around.
Is there like a chunk of wood around?
No.
Like,
literally so many. So many chunks of wood.
That's the only thing.
That's like 90% of what's in here.
I'm gonna like I want to find a chunk of wood about like a foot or less in length.
Okay.
About the diameter of like, a handle or something ish. Just unique measurements.
Okay, what are you using it for?
Well, do I find it first? We'll deal with that after.
Yeah, sure, yeah, easily enough. There is your pick of wood in this basement.
Cool.
Yeah.
Something like pokey and not refined. With that being said, I'm gonna come around behind this injured. Is it a man? Is it a woman? What race is this?
It's a fairly large human man. Light brown hair that kind of like looks balding, like definitely receding hairline. Oh, this wasn't the portly guy. Never mind. It's a skinnier individual, black hair, light goatee, with little flecks of gray in it.
Mantuka's gonna come up behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like kind of pat him on his head a little bit.
Yeah. What are you doing?
As he goes to talk, I'm gonna put that piece of wood in his mouth, and I'm gonna use the handkerchief that you said I had, and I'm gonna lash it there, so it's just like a gag.
Yeah, easily enough. I mean, he struggles, but he also is impaled by a giant piece of wood right now, so not too hard. What are you doing? You manage to, like, he's holding it in his teeth. You see him kind of, like, biting down on it uncomfortably.
I'm going to go into my backpack for, like, a little small piece of hide.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like paper size.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to write a note. And I'm going to hang it on him. And it's going to say, needs magic healing. And then I'm just going to put it around him. And then I'm going to leave.
You just leave him in the basement?
Yes.
Okay. You make your way over, and the rope now is just hanging by where the floor collapsed, so you can make your way back up. The large man has already got up, and with some help from the people up there. And the man who's just impaled now with this thing is more like, just trying to yell at you in any way he can. Doesn't seem to be working all that much.
Don't fucking annoy.
Around this time, Stanny, you're gonna start making your way over there. What are you doing?
Oh my god.
You see Mantuka just coming out of the burnt ruins of this building, and you hear the sound of a man gagged behind him, like, just yelling shit at you.
So, yeah, after just healing some people, we don't need to go back and do that. I'm just gonna, like, heal people up. Yeah, so after hearing that, I'll sprint over. Do not worry, have no fear. Stannis will soon be here. And
I'm clipping that. That's becoming a fucking soundbite, like, immediately.
And Stannis was kind of saying that under his breath to himself. And yeah, he'll get there and just kind of see Mantuka making his way out. What? I hear this.
You look, and there's a man just literally with a giant chunk of wood impaled in his torso, kind of pinning him to the floor. He can move, but it's literally gone right through.
Okay, I'm gonna hop down. And
you kind of land, and ash and smoke goes everywhere.
I'm gonna take the gag out of his mouth.
I want my cloth back.
I don't know why.
Okay, kind of toss it nonchalantly back over to you up through the hole.
It really hurt. I don't know why he saw fit to gag me. You mind? And he kind of gestures to this plank of wood that is currently penetrating his torso.
Does it look like the plank of wood came through the front or the back of him?
It definitely went through the front. You can look out the back and see that the back end is sharp, jagged, and quite pointy. But like a bunch of different pointy parts, like it broke off and just forced its way through his torso.
I think perhaps I know now why he gagged you, but you might want to bite back down on this. I'm gonna give him this.
Roll me a persuasion check. This man was just
Almost like
forcibly
it's combat
gagged.
fucking medic, motherfuckers.
He's kind of resistant, but he kind of just clunk it in between his teeth, and he has to bite down on it. What are you doing?
I'm gonna say now. This is really gonna hurt on the count of 3, and it's not gonna hurt so bad. And I'm gonna go 1, 2, and I'm gonna rip it out before I say 3.
Go ahead, roll me a medicine check as you yank
as
this
straight back as I can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Project. We got you.
I'm gonna guidance
Go with the
myself
gang.
on this one.
Yeah, probably a good
so
idea.
nice of you to guide someone.
A 9. We love that. You pull and you yank and you feel it catch as if like there's splinters that are broken off inside. His body literally lifts off the ground as you do so. It is not coming out.
Okay. Reevaluating this. Yep.
Could you maybe... He takes the gag on himself. Do not do that again.
Don't worry, I don't plan on it.
At this
I'm
point,
gonna
like,
stab the
he's
guy.
actively
Dummy.
starting to bleed heavily as you kind of yank it and make the wound a little nastier. He's now getting to the point of bleeding out.
Okay.
Come on, meet your god.
I'm gonna pump 5 points of lay on hands into him just to help stabilize this wound.
Okay. Yeah, that immediately. You gather he's a pretty common villager, does not have a lot of HP, and you definitely just saved his life. There's still the wound there, but like you see it as you cast your spell, the bleeding starts to subside. You can see some of the looser parts of the wound, like the jagged cuts around the edge.
Yeah.
Because it was definitely not a clean stab. It was more of a tearing. But you managed to stabilize him enough that he's no longer at risk of bleeding out, I'd say, for now. For now.
All right, now I don't have a saw with me, but I think we're probably going to need to cut this and then take it out that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to come out somehow, my friend.
I'm super good at amputating.
You can't amputate.
What are you
the
going to do?
torso,
Amputate
Mantuka.
my torso? Buffoon?
No, just your head because you talk fucking too much.
Just wait here. I'm going to go find a saw.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. He just lays
like
back
a dick.
against
Keep
the floor
going.
and kind of just lays there,
Yep.
contemplates his life. He's kind of half
Don't
held
go anywhere,
up.
dude. Don't go anywhere.
You'll just
I know you're
stay
pain,
right
but don't go
here.
anywhere.
Just stick
Manor
around.
doesn't
You'll
have
be
bedside
okay.
manner. He doesn't know what that is.
You want a Kool-Aid jammer, dude?
Oh no.
Kool-Aid
jammer.
I would take a Kool-Aid jammer. That sounds good. I'm down with that. No.
I'm going to go find a saw.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check, because
Okay.
now
Pretty
you
sure you're in the general store right now.
No, he's not. No, he's in the
storage?
he's in the storeroom for the place. It's literally it was
Um,
just wheat and other vegetables and shit. The general
I'm just
store
gonna
is the
go-
building Hellscorp robbed.
I'm just going to go back to the guy who I was talking to before and ask him where he thinks it would be the best place to look for
Okay.
that.
So as you're making your way over there, we're gonna cut back to Mr. Maker now, who is making his way towards the temple. You quickly leave in a beeline, just pew, making your way straight towards the temple of Shrines.
God damn it.
We
It
love
says
that.
town burns down and zombies kill people, steals from church and general store.
Love that. We love that. So,
Wait,
Mr.
what
Maker. Town burns down, still steals from church and general store. So you make your way
Yeah.
quickly towards the Shrine of Shantae. You find basically an open-air gazebo. Like, it wasn't even a fully walled-in room. It was more or less a gazebo, which now lays mostly in cinders. You see the posts on each corner where it would have been held up, still standing, but mostly burnt at the tips. But there is, like, actively the statue in the middle of Shantae, which is made of stone, is still actively safe and present. What are you doing?
Cool. Well, I want to. So you said it's just a gazebo?
It more or less was just an open air shrine that people could come to. That's like offered the
So
bare
there was
minimum
no-
of roof shelter.
That there's no one of whatever that lady was that they were talking about. The
Depends. It doesn't look like there's any bodies around in the wreckage or anything. There isn't even a lot of it. It's just mostly the roof that
Okay.
collapsed, but you don't find any evidence of anyone having been here.
can I just look around it and see if there's any goodies or any hatches or anything? Where it
Yeah,
goes
sure. So
underground or
basically,
something?
the way it is, like the statue kind of was in the center, and when the roof collapsed, it kind of collapsed around it. So you see the statue sticking out of the center of this debris, more or less. So it'll be an investigation check to actively look for stuff. But I'm going to have that paired with an athletics check from you, as you're actively having to move heavy debris off the statue to continue your search. So based on how you roll is how deep you're going to get. KO. Natural 20 on the
That's a
investigation.
nat 20 investigation.
11's enough too. Takes a little bit, and like you struggle with a couple of the heavier pieces, and you pull out a bunch of stuff and move some of the debris as you do so. And as you pull off the last piece of debris off the statue, you find the corpse of a woman who was seemingly crushed under the rubble, wearing fairly simple, almost religious garb. She definitely looks like she has been dead for quite some time, and she's just kind of laying there lifelessly. You find around her stuff that hadn't been burned. Some of it was burnt to char. What looks like a lot of, with the natural 20, a number of offerings that were here, but a lot of the offerings you notice are things like fresh agriculture, like bundles of wheat or flowers or herbs and things that people have collected from their own gardens and agriculture and given as a tribute here. You do, however, find a small offering chest, kind of almost nestled against her body as if she was holding it when she died, or at least very close to it. It is a locked chest that's only about the size that like the Davy Jones heart was kept in Pirates of the Caribbean, in terms of just size.
Stop the hot. Become the captain.
It does appear to be locked. There's just a very simple padlock with a keyhole.
Can I open it?
I don't know.
Can I unlock it, I mean?
Yeah, so dexterity plus proficiency for thieves' tools. I've got a job to exactly.
And I believe I can
And guess what's inside it?
double it for the
Great
tool.
fucking
'cause it's
scene.
Yep. So good.
Yeah.
That all the first three of those movies were absolutely solid. I'll die on that hill.
So that's +5 because of Flash of Genius, and it's also +8 because of my doubled proficiency.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So that'll do it. It's not a great lock. You easily just pull out your thieves' tools, and like you don't even need to use all of your lock picks for it. You basically just take one, stick it in there, jimmy it around a little bit, kind of tweak it up at the last, and the lock just pops right open. And you open it. There's not a lot of gold or anything inside. You do, however, find a simple medallion depicting the likeness of Shantae. It's gold, appears to be solid gold, with kind of a simple leather band to hold it around your neck. And then you find about 17 gold pieces worth of gathered
Cursed
donations.
Aztec gold.
That's all you
17
find.
gold pieces.
Just 17, yeah. It's you gather. People tend to give more of their, and that's in like silver and copper too. I'm just not going to break it all down. You divvy up that money however you want.
Sure.
And yeah, it looks like people do occasionally give change, and some travelers maybe donate to the temple. It looks like a lot of the stuff given was fresh agriculture.
So I don't see any signs of anyone else, because I know they said there were 2 people that were in there.
No, they said one of the individual temple keepers was actually killed in the attack, so they had his body found and has already been dealt with.
Oh,
It was
I
just-
thought you meant that there was somebody that they knew was in there
Yeah.
that died. And
No, it's just her that they
Gotcha.
still haven't actively managed to find, unfortunately.
well, after pocketing the gold, shoving it into my fanny pack, and ripping the little leather straps off the medallion and popping that in my fanny pack as well.
I love how evil Mr.
I
Maker
want
is
to.
and has a fucking fanny pack. It makes me so happy.
I'll
We love
Evil
him.
He's an
does not
evil
have
little
to
guy.
be inconvenient.
I want to pick up her corpse and
Oh, no.
just shove it over my
Just
shoulder,
haul it
and then-
over the shoulder. Easily done.
Yeah.
Make your way back.
and then make my way back. Yeah,
Do you leave the chest there? What are you doing with that?
I'm putting the chest in the fanny pack too.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a nice chest, wasn't it?
You just kind of
Looked
act.
like a
Yeah,
nice
it is fairly nice. Probably needs a better lock. Like that lock was a little
Imagine.
too easy for you to get off, but looks like a fairly reasonably made thing. So you stuff that in the fanny pack of holding as well, and make your way. That's why it's so great. It's a fanny pack of holding, and you just like have this body over your shoulder, and you're just kind of nonchalantly, cavalierly walking it back to the crowd. While that's all happening, Gregory, you follow this trail of blood towards the forest. It looks like a couple times where it's like it's going at like further distances, so someone was moving fast, and then you see a place where some of the grass has been pushed down and there's a little bit more concentration of blood, like someone had been wounded and was walking and actively falling as they were trying to make their way to the forest. As you just kind of come around to the tree, you see an individual just one hand on a wound in his chest that looks like a scratch mark. Something might have tore his torso open, and then he has a fairly large bite wound that you can see right above the collarbone, kind of in the muscle tissue right there. You can't really see much about it, but like you see the tear in the shirt and like the 2 sets of where the teeth probably came through. Exactly. He is alive, and he kind of looks up at you. He's... Hi.
You're gonna be okay. Just stay still. Everything's gonna be fine.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, good. Okay, first things first. Gregory sort of gets right down, and he's on the ground prone.
Mm-hmm. He's basically back against a tree, literally leaning back. As you look under his arm, it looks like at least half of his stomach has been torn open. He's literally trying to hold his insides in. It's pretty bad. They got him pretty good.
Oh,
he looks.
That's
He's
not
like,
good.
I don't know if this one's gonna be okay, kid.
This one's gonna be okay, I promise. Gregory is gonna open up the box, but first, and then sort of close it, and close his eyes. And his eyes, you can see behind his eyes closed the tiny glowing green. And the box is gonna start glowing green, and he's just gonna whisper under his breath, "Please, something big." He's gonna cast Cure Wounds at level 6.
The little tissue monster comes out, a little tissue toy.
It's just a bunch of cloths that kind of start floating out, but as they start coming out, you see that they start to like glow around the edges. They've got lace this time. They have a lot of gorgeous little decorations, and they make a little tiny ghost.
Infused with aloe vera.
Yeah. And at 6th level, you see the ghost form under it. It kind of starts to like silhouette a beautiful statuesque Egyptian woman.
Okay.
It's like this beautiful, fair. And then the hand just goes down and touches where it's like he's bisected.
Yeah, bisected is a pretty good word for it. I'll be honest with you. So he lifts his arm as this comes down, and how much healing do you end up getting as the spell manifests?
Well, that was a lot of dice.
Green glow, kind of 20. Wow. Okay, you healed him for like almost double his HP. So you watch as his arm is just over his wound. He lifts it as the magic begins taking effect, and you watch as this literal gaping wound in his chest, like a literal chunk has been torn out, and you can see this man's innards. You see it begin to close up and seal, everything kind of going back to where it's supposed to be, and then the wound closes entirely, and he's back to full health. However, you notice the wound on the shoulder continues to bleed, kind of this blackish looking blood now that you're noticing it.
Oh, that.
Oh. Well, that. Thanks. That feels a lot better.
Just stay there, right there. I'm gonna try one last thing. Opens up the box again. You see, that took a lot out of Gregory. He kind of. Okay, one more time. Opens the box. Nothing happens. Tips it over. And a bunch of pink goo just slops down. He's like, "Oh shoot!" Aims it over over his shoulder. And I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration. Maybe.
Your Lesser Restoration is pink goo. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You said? Okay.
Just
clarifying.
It's a bunch of like slimy, flubber-looking substance that kind of has a hand sometimes. You see sometimes like a mouth that smiles. It's always got this little nurse's hat and always has a little nice, sometimes it's a little nice saying on it like, "You can do it."
So as you
somebody
reach down and cast, and your pink goo kind of covers over this massive bite wound in the shoulder.
Please.
You see it kind of like pulse around it, and then it kind of starts to shake a little more angrily. Like you see your pink goo getting frustrated, and then as it comes off, the wound is still ever present. In fact, roll me a medicine check.
Boop, boop. Okay.
Okay. So as you begin, you kind of pull the shirt to the side, and you definitely see what appears to be humanoid teeth marks in this individual's shoulder, and the veins kind of spreading from it have grown black and corrupt, and he's literally, like, you see necrosis already setting in after maybe a day, not even. This man has been infected by something that you just think the lesser restoration isn't strong enough to handle. This is beyond your run-of-the-mill healing magic.
Oh,
I appreciate you trying, kid, but told you maybe some things can't be fixed.
Chop it off.
Yep. I think. Oh God. There's a moment that flashes in Gregory's head of just Mantuka shouting, "I'm very good at amputations." And Gregory just sort of puts the box down, closes it. He's on his knees in front of the guy, and he's got just puts it down on his hands and knees and just. Mantuka!
He just kind of looks back. He's just screaming now, holding the wound on his shoulder. And even as you're looking at it, like with every heartbeat, you see like the blackened veins kind of expanding across his chest, going towards his heart, making his way up his neck towards his face, even kind of creeping up onto the cheek, like spider webbing black veins over this man. And you scream at the top of your lungs for Mantuka. Mantuka, roll me a perception check to see if you hear that. You're quite far away, but you're actively probably capable of hearing that. Also, Gregory, roll me just a standard D20, please, just for my
Hell yeah.
sake.
Fuck, I'm atrocious. 11, DM. 11.
8.
You allow me to flash of genius that perception?
I will, if you want to, yes.
I'll do it.
Oh, thank you, God.
Adrian!
So,
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy
you
Ghost.
definitely, like, after a while, as Stanny's like down there dealing with this individual, he hops out to go to get some more help for the man who's been impaled, and you hear a shrill voice cutting across the silence that is spread over the town. Mantuka! Just screaming for you from the forest. It sounds panicked. It sounds worried. You're not sure how good it's or like what's going on, but Gregory is definitely trying to get your attention.
I just look at Mantuka. You got this?
Yeah, Mr. Make, you're definitely close enough to hear that. You're the closest to the center of town now by the garrison, so you pick it up as well.
Drop the corpse and then run.
Yeah, let's say like you get basically back to the group and they see the body hung over your shoulder as they all hear the scream, and you just put the corpse. Are you just dropping it, like tossing it on the ground?
No, yeah, I'm literally just like throwing it off my corner.
You
There
just
you go, gotcha.
You just shuffle it.
Bye.
The captain's like, thank you. I think your friend needs help. Go.
I'm already gone.
He's
I dropped it as
see
I
you
went.
again. Yep. Okay. And Stanny, what are you doing when you hear that? Are you still focused on saving this man? What are you getting up to? We're gonna take a minute while everyone's getting to Gregory.
Hearing Gregory yell Mantuka's name specifically,
Mm-hmm.
I think he would have just kind of screamed or yelled help if it was something actually
Fair.
dangerous. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I just kind of nod at Mantuka, and I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing.
Okay. So what are you doing with this man while we're getting them over there? How are you helping?
Well, I've climbed back up the hole, and I'm gonna go talk to the guard captain, lieutenant.
Yeah, guard captain is the correct term.
Yeah.
Technically.
And I'm just gonna come up to him. There's a wounded man in the basement of the building that just collapsed. But I need some sort of cutting device for wood, a saw of some sorts. He's being impaled.
Yeah. Let me check the general store. There might be some stuff left in there. Give me 1 sec. He kind of goes over to some of the guards. He's like, "Do you have a saw or anything anymore?" Okay. And they kind of like split up, and you see someone checking some like sheds that are attached to some of the local houses. And after a while, they bring out what appears to be a fairly rudimentary handsaw. Nothing
Perfect.
like very light carpentry saw. Nothing too fancy, but definitely something that's capable of achieving what you're trying to achieve.
This is perfect. Thank you. And
Hey, don't worry about it. Everything okay over there?
hoping so.
Okay. I'm here if you need me. We're just... Your friend brought back one of our priestesses, and I guess she didn't make it, so... We're gonna be dealing with that. And you see behind him now, they've already started to assemble this little tent where it looks like they're getting a table set up. Someone started a cooking fire, and they already have a cauldron over it, and someone's like, you see someone actively putting ingredients into the pot. So it seems like they're getting all set up.
I don't have the smoke.
So,
All right, thank you. And I'm gonna take the axe and hastily run back.
take this on, run
Guys,
back to the
trying to
house.
help.
Okay, as you run back to the house, Mantuka, Mr. Maker, and Gregory. Holy fuck, that was an abbreviation.
That was a cool
That was all
mix. I like
three.
that. That's if we fusion danced.
Mantukery could also be
Is that like
Mantuka
Bennifer?
fuckery.
What? Mr. Maker. I forget to include you in the big name.
I was gonna wonder, would it be could I roll something to see if this effect could be dispelled?
On the man's wound?
Yeah, like if it's a
you
magical
could roll me
effect that
roll me
can
an
be
roll me an
dispelled.
Arcana check. So you guys basically arrive now. As you see Gregory kind of kneeling next to this man, hands on some wound. There's blood everywhere, but the wound where you see there's like clearly a gouge in his shirt. Blood all around it has been sealed up completely. But he is still nursing this blackened bite wound on his shoulder. And you rolled
Before-
a dirt. Go ahead.
20, not net.
Before you two split off from me, I'm just gonna give Mantuka a quick guidance.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Hey, attaboy.
With a 20, you pick up. It is not strictly magical in the sense it's not an enchantment of some kind, but it is definitely some kind of infection that is beyond the average level due to the necromantic magic that reanimated these zombies in the first place. Like there's deep magic happening here that is beyond your understanding at the moment.
Sure. So it wouldn't be it couldn't be one creature, object, or magical effect. It's not a
No,
magical
this
effect.
is beyond that spell's
Okay.
ability to handle.
Cool.
Yeah, and
Just wanna know.
looking at the wound, Mantuka, you look so excited over there.
I would like to come around the corner running, and I would kind of like to gore him. Yeah.
Okay.
As he's running towards him, I just hold his shoulder and say, "Brace yourself!" And then I kind of do a backward somersault.
Okay. Roll me an attack to gore him at full speed.
Yes.
Mantuka, aim for the
Gonna
shoulder
kill
and the
this
arm.
guy.
I'm very
He's
confused.
gonna be a zombie. What do? You go talk to zombies? No, you kill
Chop
them.
off his arm.
You have
Take his
no
arm off,
idea.
take his
that,
arm off,
but-
take his arm off!
Oh, god damn it. 12?
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
no armor. He's prone. He's
Yay.
sitting against a tree. So you come around the corner and immediately just put your head down, and your two horns go straight through his torso and into the
Could I-
tree he is leaning against.
For 7! Yeah.
So as all that's happening, you're all like tending to this man. Mr. Maker's like leaning over the shoulder wound, inspecting it, and then you look as Mantuka just comes out of the forest, whips around, and pins this man to a tree with his horns. The guy just immediately is like spits up a pile of blood, Mantuka, right onto your back as you're doing, and he's held up against the tree now, just pinned there.
Not in my mouth! Not in my mouth!
He's
Okay,
just
move
coughing.
back, Mantuka. I'm gonna try to like push Mantuka back.
The man
And then-
like immediately, his like eyes are closing right off the bat.
Yeah, I want to cast Cure Wounds.
Okay, go ahead. You heal him back
Oh,
up.
thank god, I needed a little
Oh my
touch.
god. Oh my god. 8 points. Okay,
I-
yeah. So he as the horns come. Oh, are you unpinning him from the tree?
Yeah.
Or,
I want to like
you get pushed.
simultaneously as I do this, also like touch him and try to cure.
Resistant
cure
dead
the
weight.
wounds.
Resistant dead weight. Protester dead weight.
You're not.
I mean, if you want to,
It's up to Mantuka whether-
check me.
Isn't this thing turning into a zombie?
you have
like-
no way of knowing that whatsoever, though. You just came out of
I'm gonna
nowhere
say
and
I saw
impaled an
black
innocent man.
stuff.
Nope. Nope, you didn't. No one.
Who's really innocent?
No one told you
Who?
anything. You had no clue. You heard someone
heard
call
it
for help,
just
and you ran
mentioned.
around a corner and stabbed a man to a tree.
He deserved it.
It's not an unreasonable reaction. You're trying to
Adolescent-
protect Gregory. I get it.
Adolescent Gregory.
But he is very. As you kind of, are you holding him there? Or are you pulling your horns out? Because it like Mr. Maker can try to force you out of that, but like it is up to you whether or not you want
I
to
am
allow that.
done with my piercing penetration currently.
Yeah, immediately like pull the head
Yeah.
back and you cast Cure Wounds on him, and the wound, like the 2 fucking horned holes in his torso, seal shut again. Now there's 2 fresh holes in his shirt, blood everywhere. This man has lost enough blood. He is now unconscious, regardless of whether you healed him. He is getting HP
Well,
back, but he has suffered so much blood loss and trauma. He
Yeah.
needs a rest. He needs at least 8 hours to sleep, and he'll be fine.
That'll be
I would
the
like
best.
to I'd like to try to use detach one side of my scimitar
Mm-hmm.
and try to use green flame blade to both slice and cauterize off the infected area
Okay. One issue.
if possible.
Not really an amputation in sense that how you can't really amputate someone's collarbone. It's not
Well,
on
I'm
his
gonna
arm.
chop
It is
off his
right up.
arm.
It's literally the
I'm gonna
top of
chop
his
off
torso.
here to down there and try to cauterize that whole area in one big.
Okay,
swoop
yeah,
of motion.
I'll allow it. It's gonna be difficult because like
I'm
you're
sure.
not taking
I
off
understand.
arm. You are taking off like half of his jugular vein, the veins that go under the arm. Like you were fucking this guy up.
I
yeah.
figured.
Go ahead. So
I understand it's gonna be hard.
either an attack roll or a medicine check. Your choice.
I'm the monster. I'm the monster.
This is out of
Can
my
I-
fucking control. This is beyond what I could have ever considered for this.
Can I
Okay.
help?
Nat 20. That is a
Oh.
nat fucking 20.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need the help.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
I'm gonna crit on this man.
You did crit on this.
Fucking Christ. Is there any way I could like try to do it like the nat 20 to be me doing it surgically and not doing it just as like pure damage? Because I'm not trying to kill this guy. I'm trying to do the very, very opposite
Here's the
of that.
problem. You can non-lethally attack somebody. You cannot non-lethally cut someone open and burn their body at the same time. That does not translate.
Even if I'm trying to use it as
non-lethal
like,
is like
trying to,
I'm knocking your
fully-
ass out. You're still carving a man's torso open.
Yeah, I know.
And you
but
do it
I'm,
rather
like-
deftly.
Yeah.
But there is like the fire alone will do damage because cauterizing is fire damage. So at least roll for the fire.
Sure.
I'll allow you to
Okay.
use the blade to surgically cut this away while basically someone's going to be like pouring healing magic into this dude while it's happening.
Got it.
Like
I see as that
Oh my
flame
God,
guys.
guys.
goes up, I just
8
open
fire.
up the box and
because crit.
Oh, yeah. So 16.
You start carving, sawing through this man's bones. His entire arm is just removed by the end of it. Oh my, yeah. Oh god. Oh god.
ha,
There you go. That's a train wreck. Yeah, exactly. Oh my shit. Gregory, you're just caught like pumping heals into this man as the wound is like the arm is being hacked off. You get a good chunk of the meat going, but you do still see the blackened veins kind of on his face where it's spread, leading to the center of his chest. The hole that Mantuka put in his shirt now perfectly reveals a black spider web of veins across this man's chest. And you just hack the arm off, and he lays there unconscious as you're pumping magic. He is still effectively alive, but you just dismembered this man, and he is not going to be conscious for some time, if he lives at all.
no.
Sure.
No.
You smell the smell of burning flesh as the blade cuts through, the wounds cauterizing along with the healing magic, keeping the bleeding from stemming. You do manage to prevent him from bleeding out.
Cool.
What are you doing with that?
We'll carry him back to town now.
Yeah.
Is it still like spreading as quickly as it was before?
Roll me a medicine check.
13.
You gather that at this point, it's not much that can be done for the man. Even amputating him was kind of a futile
Damn it.
effort. So you
Alright,
can't.
I'll
He's
stab him.
still effectively alive. Okay. Jeez. Oh my god. Okay. So fairly quickly, fairly easily, you realize, as you all look at the blood and gore and the man's severed arm laying on the ground, you realize pretty quickly that there was likely no real saving this man beyond some pretty powerful healing magic, beyond a lesser restoration or something along those lines.
Maybe a remove curse or something.
Wait a second.
Or
Second. Before I kill him,
Hmm.
can I? I would want to roll for this if I can
Mhm.
to see if it would work. But would a superior healing potion help this man?
I'm gonna say roll me a very low DC Arcana check for that one. No,
22.
not even a little
Okay.
bit. I will say, like with that, this is like the only kind of thing that could deal with this is probably something along the lines of greater restoration or something like that.
Okay,
This is beyond your average healing magic to.
You
to
just
remedy.
said big healing, and I have a big healing potion, so I didn't know. That's why I was
Mhm.
asking.
Mantuka.
I want Steel to kill him.
Oh my god.
I've already killed him, dude. What are you talking about?
Well, I thought I didn't know if you actually killed him yet. You were talking like
Yeah, you kind of take that
I
Arcana
thought I
check
killed
and
him.
think about it, and you're like, okay, there's
cool,
no way.
just making sure.
So very, very quickly,
Deal
then,
no.
how do you deal with them exactly? How do you-
I just take the same blade I just used and
Mhm.
just stab him through the brain.
Okay. Quickly just into the skull and pull it back out, and the body just
Chrome to your
slumps.
dome till you get lockjaw.
The man just slumps lifelessly to the ground, just having been, dismembered and then eviscerated.
He seemed nice.
He's gonna die anyways. Let's go.
Uh-huh.
unless
Okay.
there was someone with greater restoration that could have helped him. He has really, really exhausted every avenue on that one.
Everyone.
I don't have greater restoration.
I know that.
Horns are a free action.
Oh my god. Oh god. Okay, so while all that's going on, Stanislav, you make your way back to this individual who is impaled in this basement, and
You hanging in there when I get back?
Oh yeah, no, he's alive, and you healed him, so like the wound effectively has healed around the piece of wood now impaling him. Like he is no longer actively bleeding,
Good.
but he's just impaled on a fucking piece of lumber. Like he's having a
Yep.
real bad day. But if anything, like the wound has sealed around it, so it's basically held in tight. He's not bleeding anymore. He is in a lot of fucking pain though. Like when he sees you jump back down, he's like, "I'm glad you didn't take your time."
Everything's gonna be all right.
Is it?
So I'm just kind of hangs his head a bit.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, I believe you.
All right, and
He's
So
just
Stanislav's
like
gonna-
sitting like awkwardly pinned against the floor, kind of like just lifted up by the plank going through him.
Alrighty. So yeah, I'm gonna go and as close to him as I can, cut through the plank that's impaling him.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say,
I love.
dexterity or medicine, because you're actively trying to saw something that's impaling a man without making the wound any worse. So your choice.
It's
I
gonna
love
hurt.
this.
I'm
Love this so
gonna.
hard.
This was
Guidance
I was like,
myself
this is gonna be a
and
chill
gonna-
episode. We're gonna help some villagers. Nah, nah,
It never is. Like catch the light RP. No death.
no. Okay.
19
19 total. You managed
Good.
to hold it steady as you're sawing, and you managed to like cut off a good chunk of it, like some of the parts where the barbs were sticking out that's stopping you from removing it. And you get the larger of the piece off, so it's basically just the piece that's impaling him and the little bit that's sticking out of his chest now.
I'm also gonna, if I can, just kind of maybe saw like some of the corners off of the part that's sticking out in front of him, just to
Mhm.
make it come back through easier.
Okay, cool, easily done. I'll just add that to your previous check. It looks like it's more or less ready to pull out. There are probably going to be some issues, but it's as good as it's going to get.
All right, my friend. Now for the unpleasant part.
He just grabs the piece of wood, sticks it back
Yep.
in his own teeth this time, bites down on it hard.
And I'm gonna. Is he like lying on his side, sort of? or
He's like,
kinda,
he's
sorta
basically
propped
on
up
his side,
by the
and
wood?
yeah, like it's literally hold against the floor, so he's at like an awkward leftward lean.
All right, and I'm gonna just gently position him onto the side that hasn't been impaled, so that he's kind of lying down. Move nice and slow. And I'm basically just gonna do the same thing, but from the other side.
Just push it out like the other way,
Fight the
basically.
pillow.
Basically, yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
know it's
Yeah.
I know it's gonna suck for this guy, and
Roll
then he
me.
might just go out.
He
but
might
I'm gonna
roll me a
I'm
medicine
just gonna-
check. Yeah.
gonna heal him afterwards.
Just fucking kill him and rip him off and then heal him. Boom. It's like you, dude.
It's not always that easy
12.
with villagers.
D&D
It's
magic.
not always that easy with villagers.
Ah.
12. Okay.
Not great.
You pull and you feel it start to pull out. Like you start
Mhm.
like you feel like just ever so slightly. It is resisting, and you feel it tearing as it goes through. Like there are still splinters on the
Mhm.
inside. He's arches his back as he's wincing, bites down his teeth so hard you can see his jaw starting to quiver, and holding his knuckles white, just like clenching his fist so hard his fingernails are digging into his palms. Roll me another medicine check. It's looking, you're like right on the edge of a failure success here. As you just you hear the wound like closing
There
around
we
it and
go.
holding it in place. Okay,
17.
17's enough. You like almost have to put your foot on the man's stomach as you pull the last little bit out. But as you do, it rips out with like just a spurt of blood as it does. So you see the piece as you're looking, just little shards of wood sticking out at all angles on it, and little bits of organs kind of still hanging off of those. But he's
Immediately
alive.
5 more points of lay on
Lay on
hands.
hands. Yeah, you see the wound.
That should get him back to full.
Yeah, it like closes up. There's still like almost a hole. Like it's gonna take a few days
yeah.
of healing to deal with this, but you effectively heal this gaping hole in the man's chest.
As long as he's not going to die. That's
Yeah,
what
he's
I care
he goes unconscious. Like he falls into shock almost as soon as all that pain starts.
Hello,
but
hello,
he is
hello?
alive. Yeah, you're there. What's up?
Oh, okay. Sorry, my fucking.
Mike was
Mike.
doing the shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, now I'm gonna get this guy out of this basement and bring him up top.
Yeah, some of the other villagers are waiting around. The ones that were helping Mantuka clear debris and stuff, like they offer help and pull him out. And you see the larger woman who was helping you kind of. It looks like she probably works in like the lumber yard of the town or works in the forest cutting trees because she's fairly stockily built. Basically, just grabs him in her arms.
He's gonna be all right.
Thank you.
I say from through the hole.
She just puts her hand on his chest and holds it there for a minute. Feels for a heartbeat to make sure. Thank you. I'll take him home. My mother will be happy to know he's alive. Thank you.
My
And
pleasure.
there's like you see like just tears starting to well up in her eyes. She turns and makes her way back to one of the homes that is just like door open. You see some people have gathered around. It looks like the community's kind of beginning to gather and come together and pull people out of the wreckage one by one. And as you guys all spend your day going about helping, what are you doing with the individual you carved up in the forest? What's the plan there? That's the only thing left to remedy.
I think we just bring him back.
Okay.
I guess.
So you guys
Right.
lead, like head back into the city with this body of this
We could
man,
just eat him in the woods.
the recently
No, we gotta
recently
make sure that people know.
this recently amputated,
Do we?
more or less eviscerated individual. You bring them
Oh, I
back
just-
over. Well, Gregory clearly didn't. So
I know. I'm just saying.
yeah, no, we figured.
I'm walking away
Yeah,
without
Gregory
even
and-
knowing that Gregory
I
picked
don't
him
know.
back
Y'all
up.
cut to a
Wow.
16-year-old boy with a large amputated man over his back.
Yeah. Roll me a very, very low DC athletics check to carry the corpse
So
of a.
pretty much weekend at Bernie's.
Mhm,
Yeah,
more or
yeah.
less.
Okay.
How you doing,
Okay.
Tarek? Welcome in, buddy. Athletic. Okay, 13's enough. You have him over your shoulder, and you just like slowly making your way. Stanny, as you rejoin, you see the rest of your party come back, while Gregory is very clear, like carrying what is either clearly an unconscious man or a dead individual whose right arm has been hacked entirely off and is burnt and crispy. What's up? You're muted.
Didn't they say that the basement that I was just in was where they kept their backup supply for food?
No, that was in the garrison basement, not the one you were in. You were in the storehouse.
Oh.
That burned down.
Okay.
All of the supplies are in there are burnt to ash. There's not a piece of vegetation left in there for you. So they're
Yeah,
basically
Sandy
using
would
what
have
supplies
checked
they have in
that.
reserve.
Learned that, and then come out and regroup. So yeah.
Okay. So you kind of gather, Ryan or Gregory, as you put this body down in front of the people there. You see a couple individuals taking the sights. The captain immediately puts his arm back. We thought he died. Where'd you find him?
He was out in the woods. I think he might have been becoming one of them.
Well, that's what happened to all those guys in the building. So that checks out.
Who was he?
What happened with the arm?
Medical science gone wrong.
Tried to amputate it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Didn't work for
I
us either.
didn't. It's my specialty, but I did not.
Didn't work for us either. Didn't stop anyone
No.
from coming back. So you did
Great.
the right thing. We're gonna have
Thank
to let
you.
his family know. So I'll handle that. Thank you for
You're welcome.
the help.
Who was he?
He was he's in charge of the storehouse. He managed all the why do I hear CS:GO in the background? This is serious.
I have no idea.
Terrorists win.
We literally hear call outs
I
from
don't have
Counter-Strike.
CS:GO in the background. I don't know why it's going through.
That's so weird. Either way.
He has ghost.
Yeah. Where was I? Fuck. That completely threw me.
Storehouse dude.
Yeah. He was in charge of maintaining the stores for the town. He kept the log of everything. He was basically just in charge of that. His family lived close by. I'll handle that. You guys sit down and get yourselves a bite. I'll put a little reward together for you, and we'll get you that when we can. Just give us the night for that. Thank you. They came right through. There's nothing we could do. But you've done well, and we appreciate you. Sit,
Thank you.
have a drink on me. And you kind of basically, there's not even tables. They've basically just put chairs out where they could. People are sitting in the grass. As he kind of just waves his fingers to, or waves his hand to two of his guards, they bring over 4 pints of what appears to be a fairly light wheat ale. Very, very nice and light. Right, I need that fan, please. We love that. What's up, Mango? Welcome in. The terrorists win. And you're all handed these 4 drinks. You all take a moment to sip. It is a fairly nice light wheat ale. There's nothing too fancy about it, but it is tasty and it is somewhat cool. So as the 4 of you sit in the field and take about your drink for the evening, waiting for your food to be served, that is where we will take our break for today, because we're going about an hour and 50 minutes already. Yeah, we don't like to run too long. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the bathroom. We'll be back in 10 minutes, and we'll resolve the role play for today. So we'll see you guys in just a few. Don't go anywhere. We won't be long. We got an inspirational
parsecs
quote from
better.
Citrus to come back from the break. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good one. We got some water. I got some more energy drink. I'm fucking wired. I'm ready to go. It's gonna be good times. So Citrus says your inspirational quote for the day, and this is going to Mantuka. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. We like that. That works well for a barbarian. So there you go. You get D6 inspirations, my friend. I hope you enjoy that. Do with it what you will. Be responsible.
Bomb has been planted.
Doot, doot, doot. So, we'll come back here.
Praise Mogus!
As you all are just kind of gathering about. You've all been handed a drink, having spent some time helping out the village and being helpful for the day, and trying to save a few people, saving one, unfortunately losing one in the other, putting him out of his misery as he seemed to be too far gone to save from the infection or whatever it was that was corrupting. It was, to him it was putting him out of his misery. To you it was fulfilling a perverted fantasy or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what Mr. Maker does what Mr. Maker does.
I sliced him up and then I killed him.
You did. You literally amputated him needlessly. Needless amputation, and then killed him. But, you know, that's the way it goes
Jeffrey
sometimes.
Dahmer.
Anyway. You guys all, having been handed your drinks, are all now kind of gathered in this kind of, like, central fieldy area behind the ruins of the Stock Inn. The inn that once was popular in this town. People have begun to gather around, kind of clustered amongst their family units, people kind of celebrating not so much their victory, more their survival. Some individuals you saw in the basement of the garrison that you rescued have come out. And as you're all kind of gathered there, what would you all like to do at this point? The day is more or less yours.
Drink.
Easy enough. Anything else? Thank you for really hitting the specifics on that. I appreciate it.
Danny's gonna
I want to drink 30 shots of tequila.
Okay. Roll me a Constitution saving throw. Tequila's not really a thing they have here, but they do have some hard liquor of varying kinds. Mostly whiskey. Okay. By shot number 3, you guys all see Mr. Maker just completely gone. There's nothing left there. The alcohol hits his system and all sense leaves it. By drink number 5 or so, he is slurring and a little trickle of drool has begun to come out the side of his mouth.
Normally you'd get a +4 to that save, but Stanny wants to see you have as much fun as possible, so he's going to exclude you from his aura. You're welcome.
You get excluded.
I could have Flash of Genius it too. I did not.
Yep.
You said after the number of drinks, it doesn't matter. The Constitution save is to see how fast until you get alcohol poisoning. But by about the 20-minute mark of the festivities, Mr. Maker is laying just back down in the grass, staring up at the sky, dozing off into obscurity. So we're just gonna have you be drunkenly passed out on the ground for a little bit. What does everyone else want to get to?
Don't forget, I can cure that if I want to. Yeah.
That's up to you.
Stanny's gonna take whatever food and drink is given to him.
Just drinks for now. They're still getting the food all going and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Stanny's not gonna get shmamma-jammed, but he'll have a drink or two.
Okay. Reasonable.
Yeah, and he's just gonna kind of sit and he's not super rambunctious as in his olden days, so he's just gonna kind of sit and converse with some of the locals and perhaps tell them about how him and his party destroyed the horde of zombies that destroyed their town.
Yeah, as you're
let them revel in that.
Yeah, as you're kind of sitting there telling the story, I'm gonna say, roll me a performance check.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna ham it up too. So
roll me a performance check to see how the story goes.
Finally, one of my best stats.
Okay. So as this is all happening, you all watch as
21
Stanny
total.
gets up and starts telling this story to basically whoever's willing to listen. And as time goes on, you notice a small crowd start to gather around him. Some of the adults standing in back, some of the local children begin sitting in the front row, almost like a story time. And Stanislav spends probably a good hour or so, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, just going over the events of their journey on the way up to Ravencrest. What they did. Are you omitting anything from the story?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Just checking.
I'm not going to say anything about the tomb or Ropesh or any of that shit, I'm going to say they were storming Ravencrest itself, and we helped fend that off.
Okay. So by the end of it, basically the entire town now has gathered around everyone who's survived and is just listening to the story up to this point and kind of making sense of why this horde even attacked their village in the first place. And by the end of it, like, some of the kids in the front row were like, Mr. Shiny Man, are the zombies going to come back?
Well, definitely not those zombies, and we're doing our best to make sure that no more come about as well.
That's good, thank you.
You're welcome, little
all the
buddy.
kids, and you see some of the kids run off and start playing soldier and zombie, and they're like fighting each other and making believe a little bit. One of the kids like bops one of the other ones in the head with a stick a little hard, and you're like, maybe take it down a notch. But they seem to be mostly having fun and like having a good time, and seemingly
the Power Rangers effect.
Stanislav remembers
literally
schwacking his brother like that more than a few times when they were kids.
Flashback to fond memories of playing with your brother when you guys were kids and having your play fights, and him usually coming out unvictorious until he started to pick up some of his more monkey attributes, or monk-like attributes, not monkey. He's not a primate or anything, but and then you notice
Gregory
the tables
can
start
be.
to turn. Yeah, Gregory can be. This is true. So you spend like a good chunk of time just entertaining the village and bring the general morale up as you do so. We're having performed quite successfully. Gregory and Mantuka, what about you guys?
When Gregory's mostly kind of still upset, but he's getting pretty good at letting things like that roll off his back. Once he sees the kids playing zombie and hero, he walks over, especially after seeing the kid get bopped. He goes, let's maybe, how about this? You want to deal with more real?
There's just a welt right in the kid's forehead where he got hit by the stick.
Yeah. Let's just, how about we do this? A more realistic zombie. And Greg's gonna open up the box and he's going to cast Disguise Self, which is just a tiny little cage with a dagger on it, so it comes out spinning, and the little dagger just kind of sits into his back of his shoulder blades as it's spinning, and it just pops into magic.
Just drills into your spinal column.
The last thing you hear is just Greg kind of go, and then a pop of magic, and he's just gonna use Disguise Self to turn himself into a zombie.
A very drunk Mr. Maker tries to copy it and just turns into sludge on the ground.
Oh. You go watch as Mr. Maker starts to transform, and some of his skin just melts off entirely, and he's basically just a skeleton. He's basically just a skeleton, and like some meat hanging off of him by the end is not a very good transformation. The kids just start screaming. Start
Zombie Gregory does too. He's just
roll me a. I'm
this place was just attacked by a zombie.
Roll me
a fucking good idea.
Roll me a performance check, please.
That's exactly how what's his name died in Zombieland.
Yeah, anyone. Oh, fucking Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Mr. Maker,
Playing zombie.
you're at disadvantage because you are fucking hammered. I almost want, I can't give you triple disadvantage, but know that I want to. Like,
It's an 18.
just deep down in my core, I want to do that for you. So you start performing as this weird sludge monster, and like, Gregory, you two go ahead and roll for me, and you start sludging your way towards these poor, innocent, already traumatized children.
Yeah, realism is
just
exactly what they need right now.
One just messy pile of flesh after the other. Gregory, finding a little more finesse in the role, being able to actually hold yourself up, starts performing like a pretty convincing zombie. Like, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna roll a straight d20.
Wazowski. Forgot to file your paperwork last night.
Oh no. Oh god. The entire group of kids, where before they were having a wonderful time and playing and enjoying reenacting some of the parts of Stanislav's story, you hear one of them just like, I'm Stanislav the Shiny! And he runs forward with what he's like wielding as a stick, trying to pretend it's a battle axe. And they're all just playing you guys in their own little tableau play, and then you both turn into these zombies, one of you more natural looking, one a complete abomination. And the tone of joy and fun is completely evaporated as you see a look of pure terror spread across these kids' face, and they bolt in every direction. Some of them towards the forest, some of them towards the town, some of them to the ruins of burning buildings. And you see where there was once joy, a pure, unfiltered PTSD flashback happening. These kids literally watched their townspeople, their friends and family members turn into zombies before their eyes. And they just bolt. And you see some of the parents start running after their kids, and they're like, no, come back. What were you thinking? God! What is
drops
wrong
it.
with you?
I'm so sorry.
What is wrong with you people?
I
You see, like, some of the
a whole
parents
lot.
run off into the forest. A kid you hear, like, that looks like he ran to where you hacked the man's arm off. You just hear a scream, just, ah! Just breaking through the forest as you assume this kid just found the severed limb of the man you fucking amputated in the forest. You see the captain come over you. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just don't do that ever again. Ever again. Okay? Thank you. Yeah. All right. Food's ready. Maybe go get the kids first if you can. Mantuka, what are you doing while all this is happening?
Oh god.
Listen, me and
Mr.
Steel are
Maker.
just trying to low-key be helpful.
Yeah.
We're trying to, like, board houses back up, move debris, something, not like anyone else in the fucking party. That's productive for these citizens with the trauma and the zombies.
Stanislav
So no,
helped.
Fuck you, I was raising morale. You know how important
Coming from
that
a
is.
tribal society, a good story really does do a lot to liven the troops. You would know that. But I'm
in
gonna
my
say
tribe, one
Mhm.
out of 3 children make it to ball dropping age.
yeah, that's true. It's pretty steep
smart.
margins. Yeah, pretty steep margins over there with the Minotaurs. So for you, I'm gonna say just roll me an athletics check for you and one for Smelly throughout the day as you guys throw your weight
Steel.
around. Steel, I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to it. All right, Steel, Smelly. You
Got
guys
you.
start trying to you pull some more debris around, start getting people's houses in a more livable condition at very least. Get started on some light repair work on some of the buildings that weren't burned down. Okay, so you carry a lot of the weight. Yeah, you carry a lot of the weight there, Mantuga. You're doing a lot of the heavy
He's
lifting.
my hype man.
Steel is basically there, kind of like, he's basically just watching you and providing, like, a little bit of encouragement here. There, he's like, yeah, that needs to go there. That's not hung up straight. That's good. Yeah, okay. And by the end of the day, after the issue with the kids,
Wipe my brows.
he gives you a little pat down on the Minotaur head. Gotcha, boss. I gotcha. And you manage to maybe not repair too much, but you piece together a couple homes, like fix some holes in the walls that looks like the zombies had maybe punched through a slat in the wall or something. You piece that back together fairly easily. And by the end of the day, I'd say you probably managed to get like two or three houses back to what I would consider livable conditions. As you guys, excluding Mr. Maker, you're still just a drunk pile on the grass at this point. What's up, Stan?
Not anymore. I'm gonna reach down and be like, all right, enough of that, and I'm gonna 5 points of lay on hands to remove all of the alcohol.
Oh, the
from his
toxin.
body.
Okay.
Yep.
Mr. Maker, you
One
feel yourself
poison
sober up, but you're
alcohol.
still just a blob of flesh and bones
Yeah.
on the ground. But now
I,
you're
like,
sober and
flop over. like full Slimer flop over onto
Mhm.
my side.
Mm.
Ugh, and just straight vomit out everything.
Oh.
Like the lay on hands did not do just pull it out of nowhere. I
It's
just
just legit. That's how it pulls
for
the
a
toxins
solid
out. You just
minute or
puke up
two,
all the
it just
poop.
all comes out.
So all you see is this pile of flesh and bone, like barely even a living creature, just retching, puking on the ground. It is a truly fucking nightmarish experience over here. Like, some of the villagers are now looking at you guys like, what the fuck is wrong with these actual people? Like, what is their major malfunction? What the fuck? But they do manage to get all the kids back. And you notice the kids now are all looking at you with, like, Mr. Maker after, I'm assuming you go back to regular form at some point. or are you gonna stay a blob the entire night? That's up to you. Fuck.
Stanislav's looking at you expectantly in blob form.
I heard food was ready, and then I'm just gonna glob my way over towards the food table.
No, come on. Be yourself. Scare the shit out of those kids.
Fine. I very, very tenuously, like, fucking stand up piece by piece. Very slowly and methodically.
Yeah, all the body parts
to
snap
piss
back
off
up.
Stanislav.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
like I stand up as the blob and then just slowly reform, staring Stanislav in the eyes.
One
just
eye,
kind-
one
he
eye
has
comes
like a-
around from the
Yeah.
back of the head and refocuses at you.
At this point, it's
Awesome.
pretty hard to disturb Stanislav, so he looks just kind of like semi-impressed, like just like, alrighty then.
You
type
guys
of
are
blank
all
look.
at this point. You see people start lining up at
Alrighty
this
then.
food tent. You smell what smells like a fairly simple but hearty stew being cooked, and it's like in a massive cauldron. People start lining up, and they're given whatever they can use to hold soup. And some have wooden bowls, some have large mugs and everything, and they're just topping up everybody in kind of a line as they do so. It's all the city guard are working behind the table at this point to divvy out food. And everything. Some people are bringing like fresh veggies of their own to put like a fresh veggie spread out so everyone can have a decent, warm and healthy meal today. You gather a lot of their supplies were saved in the basement where you all were. Notice some of when you're clearing out all that, or like you notice some of the barrels were missing food, as if the people down there might have been eating for a little bit while they were trapped in the basement. But for the most part, it is a hearty and filling meal. You guys kind of all
How's their
sit
water
there.
supply look?
Oh, there's more than... Oh, for you mean you guys specifically, or the town?
No, the town's water supply.
Oh, there's plenty of fresh water. They have a well, right? Like several wells in town, and there's a number of fresh creeks in the region that they use to gather fresh water from.
Sweet.
Yeah,
No zombies in the well.
No, none. you notice the guards check that very quickly.
Very
You
good.
also there is like a wooden thing over the well that opens up as well, so it's fairly safe. And you guys tuck into what is a fairly filling and enjoyable meal. The sun kind of begins to go down over the horizon, and as you do, the captain kind of comes over and sits down with his bowl of stew and just kind of looks at you all. Well, I want to thank you. We all do. Apart from scaring the kids, you guys did a really good thing today, and should be rewarded. It wasn't as much as we were hoping. We went through some of the burned down shacks, places we knew people were no longer using. We checked the general store and temple and everything. It appears like some of the gold stores weren't as full as I had been hoping, but we did manage to get you a little something. It's really all we can throw together. I hope this is enough. And he grabs a satchel. It's like it's a burlap sack, basically. It's more or less a potato bag, and he hands it to you. It is heavy. It is full to the brim with fresh produce and vegetables and stuff, fresh potatoes, everything. And in it, you find a leather pouch containing like what definitely appears to be coin to you. You're not sure how much. Doesn't look like a particularly heavy amount, but they've tried to like piece together a reward with what gold they can find and what extra goods they have to give you. And you see like a jar of pickles that has been put in there. Like people are literally putting in their own farmer's market level preserved goods. Like there are jarred vegetables, onions, beets.
Try to the pickles.
Pickles are good. Pickles are very good. Very fresh, very homemade. Delicious. We hope that's enough. We'd hope there would be
More than
more,
enough.
but
This is so sweet.
oh, we have plenty. That's kind of what we're known for around here. I don't know what we would have done if you all hadn't showed up. We're very lucky.
Well, you probably would have burnt the building down and wouldn't have been a pretty sight.
You probably would have died.
Know that I was exhausting every
Probably
option
would've
to
done.
make sure that didn't happen.
Of course.
I'm very new to this kind of thing, but I hope I can do well by these people until something else comes along. Someone more capable of leading.
Or they die.
That does happen. We already sent a messenger to Highguard, and hopefully they will have they'll have someone here to replace someone who's a little more capable than me. I wasn't meant to lead. But
Well, I can tell you did a good job. You at least managed to keep the town from burning the building down long enough for us to get here.
no, they'd only been there for about 20 minutes at that point. Another 20, they probably would have burned it down if you guys hadn't shown up. But your support helped, and if anything, it's given me a little more to work with here. If you're ever in trouble anywhere around here, just give me a shout. Figure out a way to get a hold of me, and know that I owe you a favor. Probably several. So where are you going next?
Well,
Strange things happening around here. All around.
how much do you know about what's going on in the Imperium?
I mean, we've had reports of large-scale rebellion, massive revolts, and the ruin or the city of Adrock itself even falling and being liberated by a number of individuals. Other than that, we don't hear much. It's pretty hush-hush up here.
What do you think of that report about Adrock?
Well, hard for me to find anything wrong with an entire slave city being liberated. We're a little more evolved around here.
Stanislav just kind of has a little grin on his face and looks at his compatriots a little longer at Mr. Maker.
That
Well,
Mr. Maker does this shadow with the money gang time.
We're pretty wrapped up in what's going on down there, and probably gonna head back to where we're making base.
Well, go and know that you have our thanks, if nothing else. I'm sorry we couldn't get you more, but it's all we got to spare. And if you have to, you get, like I said, get in any trouble, just send for Captain Streel. I'll be there. Or someone will be. Good luck.
Much appreciated.
You're free to camp out for the night, sleep wherever you want. Things pretty safe for now. We're gonna go through and check and make sure no one else is infected or anything. We should have been more thorough the night before last. Granted, we didn't know.
Just kill them. Don't try to heal them. Two fucking resources. Fuck that. Just kill them.
Ugh. That's a hard decision to make when your own family is involved, but...
I'll do it. You want me to come with you for a bit? I'll go to battle later. I'll just deal with your problems.
I think we have it covered there, big man. I appreciate it, though.
See, no emotions. Detached from the situation. I'll kill anything.
No, it doesn't work like that for all of us, but, you know, sometimes we need people like that around, so... I'm gonna get back to my people and make sure everyone's all set. Enjoy the rest of your night. Get comfortable. Help yourself to the... There's plenty of beer to go around. There's one thing we have lots of. It's that. Just be safe on your travels, and if you ever need an ally, give us a call. Send a raven.
You need one killed. Give me the ring-a-ding.
I'll send a raven.
Emotionally detached.
And he kind of just nods and stands back up. And goes back over to his men and continues helping serve food to people and kind of finding places for people to sleep who've lost their homes and everything, and very much jumps into leadership mode. And you gather that even though he has some insecurities about it, that you're looking at someone who has the potential to probably lead this town fairly effectively. So, what would you all like to do as the evening comes to a close? Is there anything else you'd like to accomplish for the night? Any plans you would like to make?
Yeah, just gonna go set up the tent next to the cart in the cache. Wherever he is.
I believe you parked him right
He'd still
by
be
the
attached to the cart, yeah.
Yeah, he as you kind of come over, he's like, "You mind letting me out now?"
Yeah, sorry, buddy. I kind of jog over to him and, yeah, detach the thing, pull out a couple apples and give them to him.
I was gonna ask. And he just eats them right out of your palm. Crunches away at them.
And, yeah, just set up there.
Okay. You all tuck in Mantuka.
Just before bed, it seems like a good time to start a routine. I'm gonna blindfold Steel
Mhm.
And we're gonna work on some of his blind fighting skills.
Nice.
Okay.
Just a little, just getting him ready before bed.
Using the
before I tuck
force.
in.
Yep.
Running your drills. So I'm gonna say roll me a charisma check just to see how well your lessons sink in, and how good of an instructor you are, and then we're gonna get some rolls from. What's up?
Like a saving throw, or just like a straight charisma?
Just straight charisma.
Okay.
What the fuck has
Do it.
Spartle been up to this whole time?
Riding on my back.
Yeah, he's just
This
permanently attached.
whole
I don't.
time?
Yeah, I don't address Spartle unless Spartle is addressed by Hell's Corp. Like at this point,
Yeah.
he's a backpack at any given time.
That is exactly how
Yeah.
I treat him.
Yep.
So
he's
when
a
you were
backpack.
goo, he was just under you,
Yep.
face down in
more,
the dirt.
more or
Yes.
less. Yeah. You know how they
100%
handled
yes.
Sprinkle in
God.
Critical Role
I-
Campaign
yeah.
3 or Campaign 2 is basically that. He's just kind of
Amazing.
there at any given time and seemingly immortal or something.
Great. Sorry, Peter. Just had to
I would
address.
like to give
That's
him.
okay.
I would like to give him more of a chance, but I feel like since I've been gone for so long, that it's kind of hard to just like reintegrate two characters. You know.
We'll
No,
figure
it's
it
super
out.
easy. You jump in, go bam.
Spartle's
I'll
here.
start-
Take him if you want.
I keep
Like
thinking
me.
about him, but I'm like, I don't
Anytime you
like,
want to bring
throw
up
everything
Spartle,
out.
man,
Yeah.
that's totally cool.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I'll start.
That's
doing
what
it
he's
more.
there for.
Now,
He's your
fuck
NPC.
off. Anyway,
Now
I got
fuck
six.
off. So 6. You're a little distracted. It's been a long day of like heavy lifting, doing just manual labor. So you're
This is
kind of
non-lethal, just so we're
yeah,
tracking.
you're kind of ready to get through the drills. So maybe you rush it a little. He kind of looks at you a little confused, or he would look at you if he wasn't blindfolded. He's like, "What am I trying to hit exactly here? You?
You're trying to block.
Oh, ah!" And you just start teeing off on him with this stick. It's just a training stick. You just start bopping him in the side of the head. He's trying to defend himself.
Use your ears.
Yeah.
Bam, like
So
a rainbow
roll
Sunday.
me a dexterity saving throw because he's just actively trying to dodge right now. But
him
at
or for me?
for him because he's dodging your
Okay.
attacks, but at disadvantage because you blindfolded him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slip within 10 feet of him and give him my aura.
Nat 20, and then
Doesn't matter. He's
Well-
good. This is their training. You don't need to get involved. With the nat 20 and an
Bitch.
18.
please let Daddy teach.
You're standing there, and after the first couple hits, catch him on the side of the head and shit. He like very quickly starts adjusting, and you see him stand perfectly still. And you step into swing, and he kind of tracks that in sound as the stick travels through the air, and he ducks under the first one, very deftly, like perfect clearance, just barely manage to get under it in time. And then the second strike, so he rolls an 18. Roll me a melee attack just to see if you hit him through an 18. You just gotta be an 18. You probably will, but
like
boat.
me, Matuka?
yeah, roll me
Roll
a
melee?
non-lethal melee attack, please.
Yeah, I'll just do a fucking strike, an item
Mhm.
strike.
Sure. Yeah, this is literally just a stick you're picking up.
Well-
Okay. So he actually manages to avoid that one too.
Cool.
As you step forward and like swing your first one, he dodges it. The second one's coming. You go for a vertical strike to hit him right on the head. And as he does so, he actually steps in towards your hands, towards the apex, and then kind of cuts it off. He puts his two hands over his head, crosses his arm, and catches it, knocks it off. Seemingly doing pretty good at picking up where you're attacking from, despite not being able to see.
Good. Take out the blind field, fold, wash your balls, get food, go to bed.
Okay. Yeah.
In whatever order you want.
I'll do
I'd
that.
start with the blindfold, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Hard to wash your balls in the dark. Okay, I got it. Gregory, are you getting up to anything? So that's how Mantuka spends his night. Stanny, you already did your stuff too, right? I believe.
Did I? What did I
I
do?
don't know. I don't remember. Was it Mr. Maker? Oh yeah, Mr. Maker's doing his
Oh.
weird fleshy thing. So, Mantuka, you
that
train
was-
up. What is everyone else? What is everyone else getting up to before bed?
Is everyone asleep?
People are starting to kind of go off to their own homes. People who haven't found shelter to sleep in have pitched tents in the fields and are camping out. Their guards are pretty closely clustered around the tents and definitely like keeping a watch out for everyone. You see the captain going through each person, and every single person in the town is being checked for infection or bites or anything like that that might lead them to turn overnight. What are the rest of y'all getting up to while Mantuka's training?
I would like to just go out kind of outside of the city a little, not the outside, just like on the outskirts, and open up the box, and I whisper inside, "Give them a show, they deserve a little celebration." and I'd like to cast Firebolt into the sky. Just a little firefox just going phew, phew.
Okay, roll me
A
performance.
couple of times.
Yeah, roll me a
And-
performance.
Can I assist?
Yeah, fuck
by
yeah, you can assist.
do.
Absolutely.
Prestidigitation?
100%.
Make it
Okay,
like
so we're doing a
fireworks.
literal fireworks display right now. This is dope as shit.
Get
So,
guidance as well.
okay, I'm gonna say performance for Gregory with advantage because Mr. Maker is actively assisting you. You guys are putting on a little Lato for everybody.
Boop. Boop. A 9 or a 17,
17
plus
Oh my god.
D4. So 18, 19.
Okay.
This is all right. So as I'm getting support from Mr. Maker, I feel Stan's hand on my shoulder. I think we can go a little bigger with this. And Gregory would like to cast Fireball.
So, as
Into
this
the
fireworks
sky.
display is just going up, lighting up the entire night sky with bursts and bursts of color. What's up, Stanny?
I'm also, through thaumaturgy, adding in the sound of fireworks through this display.
I mean, you don't really need to. They're shooting fire, but you just start amplifying all these explosions, so they're
Those
echoing
crackling
across,
sounds.
echoing across
Whistles, yeah.
Yeah. And you guys are just lighting up the sky with these beautiful multicolor fire bolts, explosions, prestidigitation, everything. And you guys put on an absolutely spectacular fireworks show as the evening begins coming to a close. You see people coming out of their house to watch and check everything as these fireworks are going off. Stanley, you have some time to do stuff while this whole display is happening. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Yeah, after adding to it for a bit, I'm just gonna kind of, and things are dying down, just kind of lie down and look up at the stars and just contemplate how far I've come to this point, how far we've come, and just really hope for the best going forward, and yeah, just do some self-reflection,
Take a
venting
moment.
out type of stuff. Yeah.
Kind of lay down and say a silent prayer to Torm and hope that whatever lies ahead, it is easier than what has preluded all of this, though part of you severely doubts that is the case, as you very much feel something big on the horizon. Mr. Maker.
Can I would also like to do two things before bed, if possible.
Yeah.
The first thing is I want to pull out that little amulet thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem magical in any sense?
Probably not. No.
Okay.
If
never
anything,
mind.
maybe it was like an amulet that was used as a spell focus, but it's not necessarily inherently magical itself.
Okay. So cool. Never mind. I was gonna cast Identify on it, but that won't do anything.
No, yeah, there's no kind of like no arcane sigils on it or anything, nothing
Cool.
to indicate to you it's magical. Just seems like maybe a family heirloom or a personal trinket.
And the other thing is, can I see what we got in the big burlap sack?
Yeah, so you got like enough vegetables to do you,
Oh yeah.
and preserved goods to probably eat fairly well. I mean, like you'd have a full vegetarian diet for the next week and a half, 2 weeks if you stretch it out.
We
and
have
like
20 pounds of smoked deer.
yeah, and if you add it to meals instead of just eating just that,
Hey.
like there's enough pickled goods here to supplement your diet for probably a month if you divvy it up smart. So, and then in the bag, which is only about a gold, like it's a leathered gold satchel, only about yay big. There's about 17 gold pieces that look like they've just been collected over the course, and it's like there's some gold, you see little bits of copper and silver, and like it looks like they scraped together their life savings entirely for this.
I'd like to split it up into four. It won't split up into 4 equal parts. So the one that's lower than the rest, I'd like to make a big show out of taking the lower one for everybody. You know, you all did great work today, so I think it's only fair that I'm the one that takes the odd man out here. I'll take the less. I divvy out the rest.
Roll me a deception check,
I'm-
you sneaky bitch.
Yeah, versus my 6 insight.
Where the fuck is my deception? There it is. That's Flash of Genius.
Okay, so 16.
Well.
Oh, get shit on. Oh no.
Gregory, you choosing to believe him or not? That's up to you.
I'm gonna roll with disadvantage because
Fuck,
I do
doesn't
mostly
matter.
believe him.
Because you want to believe him. I got it. You rolled 3.
Oh, 11.
11
I
and a
got a
21.
6.
So
I got a 16.
it all, like, Mantuka, to you, you're like, can't quite shake the feeling that maybe he's being a sketchy bitch, but you can't tell if that's just
Sketchy
your
bitch.
opinion of Mr. Maker or not. But as far as you can tell, he is being honest and earnest about this gold. He is taking the lesser sum, seeing that you guys put in so much work to save people and help people today. So he definitely takes the smaller portion as kind of a thank
So
you to you guys.
selfless.
You are so fucking greasy.
I'm so proud.
And I love it.
I also want to correct your math. Unfortunately, we got 17 gold. Then it would be 3 groups of 4 and 1 group of 5.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, you could split the.
We can all have it even, yeah.
Yeah, we could split the last one, but
It's up to you.
4 gold and 25 copper each.
I'll pass out 4 and then put the last one on the table then.
There you go. The bit stands for sure. And you all pocket your
Yoink.
sums of coin for the day. You all rake in a reward, well earned. You enjoy yourself a nice little feast, and you all tuck in for an evening's rest as the last remnants of this fireball or this firework show just fizzles off in the distance with one final climactic fireball shooting into the sky and erupting in this almost like nucleus style, where it's like you see the center and then the shockwave of light spreads out above it across the entire night sky and then fades as the smoke is just left hanging in the air as everyone goes back to their homes, and you all take in a day of work well done and a reward well earned. That is where we will call the session for tonight on a bit of a happy note as everyone tucks in for an evening rest following this very beautiful showing of pyrotechnics that the party put together for the people here. Safe to say, if nothing else, you have made another ally here in this town today, and should you ever need them, they're simply a raven away. So as you guys kind of tuck in, that'll be it for today. We will be back next week for another session, and then the week after that, we will be off because your boy's going on vacation. I'm very excited. I'm going to see some people who
Ooh la la.
I'm very, very excited to see. I'm going to go hang out with Kayla.
I just got to bring up real quick.
Jenna, I'm fucking hyped. It's going to be great.
When you had the captain giving us our reward, and when he was like solemnly saying, yeah, our stockpiles in the general store and church weren't quite what we thought. Like, I just picture the rest of us just kind of like, oh, that's too bad, like standing there, and Mr. Maker just like neutral faced.
Yeah, 100%.
Just
Meanwhile,
completely.
the 4 of us were just like,
forward.
you are.
It's such a
guys,
horrible
shit.
circumstance. You couldn't find more money for us. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my, that was
It's
too
so-
fucking
I'm
good.
so excited.
That was
I can't
so
wait for my
funny.
trip.
I also just want to point out for
Mhm.
anybody that doesn't remember from last week, I rolled a nat 20
Mhm.
on the last investigation roll for that general store
Mhm.
and a nat 20 for the investigation on that temple.
Yep, you did very
Hey,
good.
he knows what he
two nat
wants.
20s
So
to steal stuff from people.
we love a Robin Hell's Court. So yeah, that'll be it for me. I was gonna go live tomorrow, but because I guested on Insomnia Night stream last night, I didn't get a chance to set up all the Halloween shit. So I'm gonna take tomorrow morning off to get all set up. You can find me on Kayla's stream tomorrow night around, I think, 7:30 Eastern. We're gonna finish our Baldur's Gate 3 run. We're at one of the big boss fights at the end. We think. I don't know how much story there is to wrap up after that, but it's gonna be pretty epic. I'm very excited. And then we're on to meme runs. I can't wait. It's gonna be fucking awesome. So we're back
Fuck,
next
you're,
week,
like,
and then I'm
part
gonna
one
be
of
off.
4 completed.
Yeah.
after you
Oh
fight the boss.
god. Oh no. Yeah. So we're on next week, and then I'm gonna be off while I'm going visiting some people. I could not be more stoked. I am literally just dying with excitement. I haven't got to leave Canada in years. So we're gonna find somebody to raid out on today. That's step 1. Anyways, Peter, you want to talk about your business while I find someone to raid? Y'all check out that link in chat.
You know me, you know me. We're always painting and printing here. Get something Halloween-esque on the printer right now. Lovely little Aztec dice tower for any of your RPG needs, as well as we've got can holders. We got lots of stuff. Go check Fire Mission Battery on Instagram. Link to the website, firemissionbatteryprinting.com. Check it out. Always adding stuff.
There we go. All right, I got one person streaming D&D tonight, so we're gonna raid on Victor 7 TV. Getting a D&D stream going. We're gonna tune in there. It's their season finale, so swing in, show some love, and you know, pass on the love from us. What's up, Hell's Corp? If you got something, what do you want to talk about?
I got something.
Go ahead. Well, we're raiding out.
I'm gonna be stuck indoors for the next week, so I might stream.
Woo! We got a Hell's Corp stream coming. We love that.
What?
That
Really
shit is
just
exciting.
something
Please.
So,
'Cause I've got fucking COVID.
oh man, I'm so
Yay,
sorry.
everybody.
I'm so
Yay.
sorry.
Hells is back because he's sick with COVID. Yay.
And we were excited, and then we felt bad. What's up, Stuart? You adorable little man, you. Thank you, Kayla. There's the YouTube, y'all. If you haven't gone to it already, check it out. You can check out the videos a week after they come out here on Twitch. I'm a little behind on uploading. We're getting caught up on that this week. So if you haven't already, swing into the Discord. Check that shit out. You hang out with the community. We tend to do movie nights and watch trash TV in there. I want to thank everyone coming in. Kayla for doing the modding stuff. Hildebrand, Grim, and Kieran with the raids. Y'all the best. Citrus hanging out since like the beginning too. Everyone who comes by and makes all these D&D streams so fun. We love you very, very dearly. And we will see you either tomorrow night on Kayla's stream or Wednesday morning for a little surprise stream once I get the Halloween shit all set up. So, you guys know the deal. I have been Rusty. These have been my friends, and you all have been awesome. That's terrifying, Chris. I fucking hated that. Okay, we'll see you next time, everyone. Have a good raid over there.
See you
Bye.
boys later.